They'll be calling me royalty.
I could be the one you talk to when you're feeling down. I could be the one you run to when the moon hits the ground. I can say what I'm feeling, but the words just don't come out. If you ever feel lonely, girl, just know I'll come around. 'Cause I've traveled so far just to get to where you are. And I know that you're broken, but that makes you who you are. So pick up the pieces and show me you mean it tonight. I know what you're feeling, I see that look in your eyes. So pick up the pieces and show me you mean it tonight. 'Cause what I've been dreaming is giving you my paradise. Of it all, holding your hand, fighting for the things that we want. Be the rock you lean on, with you by my side. Baby, when we fall, together we'll rise. 'Cause I've traveled so far just to get to where you are. And I know that you're broken, but that makes you who you are. Show me you mean it tonight. I know what you're feeling, I see that look in your eyes. So pick up the pieces and show me you mean it tonight. 'Cause what I've been dreaming is giving you my paradise. I'll strip all you with me, feeling round the rainbow. Further in the city, rushing through me, downpour. I'll strip all you with me, feeling round the rainbow. Further in the city, rushing through me, downpour. I'll strip all you with me. On the surface I look fine. My brain feels heavy, my traumatized mind. And I'm so tired I can't feel my eyes. Whoa, whoa. I'm petty but I know how to lie. I feel feelings that I can't describe. I'm not breathing but I'm still alive. Whoa, whoa. But I think I'll be alright, 'cause I'm not giving up, I'm not giving up yet. I feel that it's my time, so I'ma give it everything. I'ma give it everything I got. So I'ma give it everything, I'ma give it everything I got. I'ma give it everything, I'ma give it everything I got. Hope. So many days have passed. I wait around for things to change, but change has not come fast. I'm asking all the questions, but then I question them. Like, what's the point of living, existing when you can't see your God in flesh? I'm looking for the answers, they say to pray instead. I think I'll find them one day, but with a helping hand. I know that it's not easy, but I believe I will. Yeah, I'll get over all my fears and really conquer everything. I think I'll be alright, 'cause I'm not giving up, I'm not giving up yet. I feel that it's my time, so I'ma give it everything.
Well, this one is a knocker. Step in on the dance and I does my dance. Everything's scattered. Right? Right now, man, active. Down with the game like a bandit. Me bring the flame like a matches. Test me now. Without the slackness, active style and pattern, that's a man there. Active. 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 One live life massive. Talking up and off the brandish. Control and hold the world hostage. When I start the bumper clad mash pit. When we step out to the place, get active. 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 Now. Clocks on the east side, bad bitch on each side. Big split, chillin' on the beach side. Run things where you feel like. Cake big, have a carve out of peace line. Freestyle now, millions for each line. Too cool, man, I need ice in my beverage. Test this bigger, please find the exit. Right now, man, active. Gone with the game like a bandit. We bring the flame like a mattress. Let's me know. But out the slackness, active. Stand up and tell us I'm out there. Active. 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 One live like massive. Talking up and off the brandish. Control and hold the world hostage. When I start the bumper clad mash pit. When we step out to the place, get active. 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 Active.
Everything you want, but you can't have. Number one regret, no takebacks. The hole in your chest, that's payback. Payback, yeah, you better take that. You could call me selfish and critical, I could take the blame. Just like I could take a match and send it up in flames. Don't say I didn't warn ya. This might hurt, but that's just karma. Better take that. Call it payback. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Stay mad, I know you wanna. This might hurt, but that's just karma. That's just karma. Go and play the part, play the victim. Throw a pity party with your demons. Blaming everybody and you're screaming, screaming. But I'm the one bleeding. You're the one that's selfish and critical, you could take the blame. Just like I could take a match and send it up in flames. Don't say I didn't warn ya. This might hurt, that's just karma. Better take that. Call it payback. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Stay mad, I know you wanna. This might hurt, but that's just karma. That's just
I'm just a joke, just a joke. Shivers my spine so bad. Swimming in the river stinks too much. I'm trying to let go.
Thoughts inside my head. Got you on the devil running through my mind. I can't get on your level. I swear to God I tried. Tingling VRL. I am not under your spell. Tingling VRL. Turn around and turn ahead. Tingling VRL. You cannot be anymore. Oh my God, you are the so hard to save. Hallowed by my love for you, always stop me going under. Follow every step I take, cause our walls are coming down. Yeah, you are the devil running through my mind. I can't get on your level. I swear to God I tried. I am not under your spell. Turn around and turn ahead. You cannot be anymore. Oh my God, you are the Vision's blurry, I'm in a hurry, my skin is starting to shed quick. Call up the doctor, swallow some pills, maybe I'll wake up a bill. I'm a disaster, can I move faster? Honey, I'm off the edge. No point in stopping me, I'm not your property, gotta take care of that ledge. My friends are dead, I'm losing my head, I gotta get off of these meds. I am unstable, willing and able, give you this body to pledge. Oh my God, you are the devil. Oh my God, you are the devil.
Best to give me your loyalty. Best to give me your loyalty. Cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. Cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me, calling me.
You have the script in you, Scared?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You'll have to carry for the starting few minutes.
The script is on the if you scroll up, there's a link. Okay. Yeah. No worries. Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Arena Esports here, powered by Etisalat and, of course, by EN. Of course, my name is ICBaby12. Joining me is going to be Scared Yet, as we are going to be your casters for today's MLBB Monthly Finals. I'm extremely excited to see all these things here, but of course, I would like to welcome you guys to the Arena of Esports tournament. Like I said, it's powered by Etisalat and also by EN. AD Gaming as a strategic partner and Plethora Esports as the broadcast partner. Scared Yet? Now, we are finally here for the monthly finals once again. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling super excited, especially being on the desk with you. I mean, this has basically been a dream come true for me. I'll be explaining all of that later as well. But again, super excited about what's going to happen on the stream and between all of these teams, because we've been seeing how solid all of them have been. And again, just watching everything that we have been through, I'm just so very excited, literally on my heels at this point. So again, can't even wait for anything else to start.
Okay, to be honest, I can't wait as well. And of course, for these guys watching at home, I'm wondering what is actually happening right now. It's very simple, right? The Arena Esports MLBB tournament is actually a place where skills, coordination, and innovation kind of comes together. And teams from across MENA has pretty much gathered here today to showcase their prowesses in the battle arena. And of course, every single move will be dictated, and of course a step for all these players who's trying to be very, very competitive in the near future. Hopefully, and maybe hopefully we will see them in the M6 series, because M5's windows is pretty much closed right now, but this is a great start for them to actually take their step a little bit closer to next year's World Championship. And of course, here in Arena Esports here, we are a platform to support the community, and what a great way to start things off as well. And being here with you, Scared Yet, it is truly a blessing as well, because it is going to be our first time casting together to give you guys a little bit of exciting moments here. Now, Scared Yet, what do you think about Mobile Legends Bang Bang? Hello?
Then I'll be very honest. Okay, so I started my casting career in a situation where I only casted MLBB, and yes, there were some problems with the game in India, so there were kind of some roadblocks out there. But still, I continued to cast all the tournaments that any third party was handling, and I was watching you cast in all of the main NPL matches. So you've been basically my inspiration. But for now, we're also gonna have a look at the inspiration of all these teams as they'll be moving forward. Let us have a look at the roadmap as well.
And of course, based on the roadmap as well, every single team has to play through the qualifiers, open qualifiers, and then qualify to the monthly finals. We are currently at the stage where the monthly finals Q3 is going to be happening as of yet. And because of this, the winner of this series will be qualified to the playoffs, which will happen on a later date. And today we are going to have two amazing teams here, and that is going to be Team Shooky going up against Okami Friends. And rumor has it, there has been a lot of rumors circulating around Okami Friends being the dominant team coming into his Q3, and there is also a lot of rumors that it might be a very quick one as well. But of course, when it comes to competition, anything can happen, man. Scared.
That is indeed true. Anything can happen. And one of the best things that we always witness in all of these matches is the team who's been dominating through the entire matches faces an opponent that has equal caliber. And Team Shuki definitely has that. So I'll be looking for an extremely solid match between both of these teams. And since, again, Icy Baby, since it's a BO5, you know how tiring it can get for all the players out there as well, because they have all of those strategies. They've got their set plays out, but it always needs to be countered. There's always in-game adaptations, in-game adjustments. There's some adjustments in the draft as well, which we will directly see from game number 2 itself. But game number 1 is where all the momentum and all the pace is set. So I am very excited to watch that. I'm getting restless here.
Exactly. That's the thing about the drafts, right? It's similar to like playing chess, right? Whatever first moves you make during the drafts kind of dictates and sets the tempo for yourselves in the game itself. And of course, over time, there has been so much integration to a point where there's so much different kind of strategies. Back then, it was just very fixed, double tanks, two double tanks, one mage, one offlaner, and then a gold laner. And then over time, we've seen triple tank compositions, tank junglers, assassin. And now it's gotten to the stage where tanks were no longer necessary at one point, where healers kind of outshine the meta itself. So I want to see what kind of integrations that the MENA region have installed for us, because I've seen the enchanter support playstyles. I've seen the double mage composition roams. I've even seen assassin side laners, XP laners to a certain degree, which in my opinion, it's very difficult to play, but of course, with good teamwork, everything goes all in order. In this case, I can't wait to see what kind of strategies is going to be coming out as well, because even in the current scene in the Mobile Legends bang scene, M5 is currently going on away as well. We do see the Philippine region as well as the Indonesian region kind of still at the top of the top here, but they have pulled off some very interesting cards, such as the newly introduced hero known as Nolan, which quote unquote has been there in this, in the hero pool for about at least almost 2 months now. People kind of stayed away, but we do see it appear in the global stages as of yet.
Yes, finally, we are seeing it in the global stages, because everyone wanted to notice the potential of that one specific hero, right? Nolan, yeah, there were questions onto him when people also thought that maybe he might not be that useful, because he's very blue buff dependent, purple buff dependent. You know that if in case you don't have the purple buff, it might become very difficult for you to spam out all of those skills. Especially the thing that faces the most backlash is this dash, wherein you cannot just keep on using that skill. So sometimes, yes, if in case you're able to invade his buff, he might be in a position where he would just take a step back, like a Fanny and a Ling, right? With a Ling, still you can try and maneuver around different lanes. But if you're a Fanny or you're a Nolan without the purple buff, you would just have to take a step back, farm around the other areas of your jungle, maybe try and steal your opponent's jungle. But you can basically participate in one of the fights fully fledgedly, but then you've got to take that retreat. So I think so in those terms, we'll still see a little bit more flexibility coming in, because all in all, we're also seeing the Guinevere, which I really wanted to talk about. It's like for the past few days, it had literally the 100% ban and pick rate. And since we're already talking about ban and picks, might as well just jump into the draft.
Yep, seeing in the drafts here, we do see Okami kind of starting things off from the blue side. Of course, we have the MPL tags to actually kind of flex their way through. They are definitely on the same ride with me. I'm proud to be part of this trade, because I do have the MPL tag as well. Sucks to be you. I'm sorry, wait, what? Huh? You didn't hear that from me. Anyways, going back to the game here, we do see the opening bans. We do see Faramis being the opening coming from Okami. So that's going to be, I would say, them trying to take advantage of the fact that they don't really want to deal with the ultimate here. They don't want that second life. They want to go for a one-shot combo in case they try to play this kind of sustained compositions, which I think is something that Okami doesn't really want to deal with.
It is highly possible because, again, Nolan, just as you were mentioning before, banning it out right away. I want to see if they are going to focus down on Guinevere as well or not, or if are they going to try and prioritize that pick for themselves. Because after the first three bans from each side, we're going to see the picks coming in. And since you've already mentioned about those enchanting supports, it might be possible that Angela could also be left on board. But since we're already talking about quite a few dashes, we've got the one that counters all of those dash banned out. Phobius, I really like that ban. It's kind of giving me some kind of deja vu where I was seeing one of the previous M5 matches, and these were the exact same bans that we witnessed. If I was
It's
not wrong,
funny,
it was
right? You know,
probably. Mhm.
it's funny before the group stages of M5, before people actually got to this M5, people, every single teams from multiple regions, they do tend to lean on their comfort heroes, their comfort picks here, or targeted bans, right? I like to actually brought up two specific heroes, like Fanny and Ling are very, very popular heroes coming in from the Malaysia region, and to counter it, usually people tend to pick off heroes, early roaming heroes that kind of disrupt the purple buffs, like I would say Franco is a great hero. Tigreal to a certain degree is a really, really good way to kind of deal with those kind of compositions. But of course, when it comes to mirroring what the M5 composition brings to the table, that means that they are going to be sneaking in with a lot of cheesy strategies that may mess it up in case your opening formations do not play in your favor. However, Okami, they are, like you said, following the M5 trend. They are banning off Angela, very, very popular as well, because of the newly introduced item coming to the table. The Oracle, very, very annoying to deal with, and I hope they don't pick the Baxia, because Baxia has been very, very difficult to play these days.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, with the mobility that he has, he can literally be in two different lanes within just seconds of you seeing where he was in previously. So can definitely be picked up. And plus, he's got that anti-regen in his kit, right?
Yeah.
You've got the dominant size already in the passive of that one specific hero. So might as well just grabs once it's available. And yes, even the Flask of OSS creates a lot of problems, especially when it gives you such a humongous shield. Now, I still want to focus if we'll see a Gwen pick, but it has been banned out. Oh my god, man.
Good
I
call.
really wanted to see a Gwen picked up.
That's a very good call coming from you here. But seeing how the red side here, they are going to be banning jungle specific heroes here, right? If you think about this here, these are three highly mechanical heroes. In the right hands can be very, very annoying to deal with, especially pre-4 or maybe even the first turtle fight. So I guess taking 3 of this here is gonna stop them from snowballing very, very hard. And in this case, I feel like they don't really do well early game. They don't really want to give them an opportunity to kind of snowball hard in the starting game. But this opens up heroes like the Mortis. This opens up heroes like Tamus to a certain degree as well. But I feel like Mortis and Fredrin are still like the go-to jungle heroes for the past, I don't know, almost a year and a half now. It's the most boring thing ever. But they're keeping it open. Blue side, they are gonna go for the Matilda. This is very, very highly banned in every single ranked games. I hate it, but it's annoying.
I mean, you've got the guiding lights and you also have those shields. Plus, you can make the Flask of Oasis onto Mathilda, and you know that the teammate who's got the lowest HP will get that additional shield. But I'm still kind of confused regarding the Karina pick if in case they want to go for, which they entirely deny. Swagger's going to lock in the Martis. So you called it. You made sure that Martis is opened up. They picked it up as well. Now, one thing that I also want to focus is that will Okami try and pick up the Akai in the jungle if they want to, but since the Valentina has been logged in, I don't think so that's a viable option.
I was I was a little bit hesitant whether or not they go for the Karina. I don't think opening up the Karina is just that great, right? Like, just because of the fact that, hey, when you open up a Karina, it means you kind of set yourself in a way where, hey, we don't need a lot of physical damage. We just need a lot of magical damage. Just burst your way through those sheer shadow dances. And in this case, having the Martis does gives them a little bit more room for flexibility in case they want to pull off a pocket strategy and force the Martis down XP lane. So this is very smart pick openings coming in from the red side. But the blue side, they do get what they want, and that is going to be the Bruno. Very, very popular right now. But oh, do they go for a Bruno? Okay, they go for the Bruno and they bring in the Lilia. Not a big fan of Lilia. Not gonna lie, but it makes a lot of sense now, considering that why they banned off the Faramis, right? Lilia excels at just chunking out a lot of burst damage right from the get-go. The Faramis kind of completely destroys that, because those shadow balls does have this very, very long cooldowns now. It's not like back in the days where you're like, hey, I drop 5 balls, I pop out match black shoe, I drop another 5 balls, boom, someone's dead. Now, if you pop the black shoes, it doesn't immediately give you the 5, but it does increases those cooldown charges.
Yeah, true. So Enchanted Talisman might as well be a go-to item for Yuna and Evergarden in this case, because it kinda recharges those Shadow Energy balls pretty quickly. I was wanting to focus on Arlet as well. So you mentioned that maybe they could try and flex Smartest in the EXP, but eventually now with Arlet being logged in, I don't think so that's going to be an option at all. But honestly, Lilia and Bruno as a combination, they've kind of mixed up the early to mid game up with the super solid mid to late game combination, wherein Lilia will probably help in with those rotations along with Matilda. They can try and maneuver between those lanes quickly, while Bruno will probably focus on farming in the early game. Now the question is, what's going to be the gold lane coming in from the side of the opponents, right? Team Shooky, they need to pick something up in order to counter Bruno. Brody, I think so, could be a viable option if they want to go for it.
Yeah, I think Brody isn't too bad as well. Brody, Claude, those are two amazing marksmen as well. Claude, you have that backdoor potential to actually kind of flex your way into the side lanes. But all I can see right now, based on Team Shuki's ban priority, they are targeting on towards junglers in particular. So all this 4 heroes like Nolan, Joy, Guinevere, and Lancelot, these are backline invade heroes where you can cause a lot of damage and kind of split off the fight. And I guess, you know, from Team Shooky, they are in the vicinity where they want to play a traditional front-to-front composition, where they don't really want to play a little bit more split. So having those team wombo combo strategy gives them the upper edge. And I can see why Okami has opted to say like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna ban a Minotaur because of the fact that there's 2 things. 1, it heals. 2, it provides a lot of AoE damage in the front line. So I guess that's the idea they're going for. But at the same time, you know, again, you called out the Akai also being banned from the side of Shooky. They don't really want to do it. And also the Brody as well. Well done, Scared. Yeah, you said you don't really play, but you've been very on point with your call out so far.
Trust me, I have been loving this game for so long, and it's all thanks to the analysis that you have been providing, not just today, but for past few years to me through all the MPNFI videos. Trust me,
You're
man, I
just
really love that.
over-exaggerating now, but alright, okay.
Yeah, I'll give you all the explanation after that. But seriously, now since Akai and Brody have been banned out, the options are kind of limited for the side of both of these teams. Again, I still want to see what's going to be the jungler coming in from Okami. But for Team Shooky, they've set a few things up already. Martis is going to go into the jungle. They've got the Valentina up as well in the mid lane. Arlet for that EXP. The only thing that is left for them is going to be a roam and a gold laner. Clint, okay.
I think the idea coming from Spooky is like they're trying to mirror the Brody's crit damage, right? Like nowadays, Marksman's openings has been like Corrosion side. I would say the Trinity build, right? Like Corrosion side, DHS, and then go for Golden Staff, blah 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 blah. But the only few that kind of benefited the most based on like the Hask Claw into the Berserker's Fury opening are actually only Clint as well as Bruno. And because of this thing, I feel like they're trying to mirror because of the fact that, hey, Bruno opens up with this. You know what? Clint does this as well instead of Trinity build, and you do have this poke strategy where you go through a lot of tankiness. So I guess the true damage from Clint is great, but of course, you know, Spooky, no-brainer, going for Freddy Jungle is gonna be the most logical answer. And I feel like Spooky-wise, you know, they put their eggs a lot onto the fact that they wanted to flex the Mortis as well as Arlot because of the fact that maybe the Arlot might be forced to play the jungle and they need to pick a different XP later. Which, like you said, you called it, it's not gonna happen, but I'm just, you know, putting out options there. And I feel like Spooky has that idea, and because of this, it kind of stopped them in this track. And bringing in the Rafaela. Okay. Ooh.
It's kind of a situation where I wanted to see some kind of enchanter that could also help Clint out in the movement speed, right? Because yes, there's just one dash that Clint has. It can help you with one person when they're trying to charge on you, but when there's a Matilda in front of you, and you also know Senzi on the Tedesla will try to find an opening to catch you in the penalty zone, you need to have some kind of backup plan since they're not even going with a Purify. So I think so Rafaela is a pretty decent pick as long as they're able to land in the holy baptism at the correct targets at the correct time. Because I would personally say that re-engage tools that we have from the side of Shooky, they are pretty solid.
Yeah, I like both sides drafts actually, but I do
Mm.
favor Okami a little bit more because of the fact that how they kind of dictated the draft and force Shuki to kind of react and mirror their draft. And right now, I feel like Shuki's draft, it's the best draft they can do because of the fact that they have mirrored. And I want to see whether or not can they execute as well, because right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the stages of the Open Finals Q3, and this is game 1 of Okami Friends versus Team Shuki.
Simple rotations coming in from both the teams, nothing out of the ordinary. Just gonna see eyes on me helping out his own jungler. So we normally see these kinds of rotations wherein the gold laner first helps the jungler to try and grab a few of those, buffs quickly, faster, as soon as possible. But as of now, on the other end, you're also seeing Martyrs doing the exact same thing, and he's a second faster in that rotation. So looking at how he's going for now, maybe might want to end up towards the bottom side, try to push pressure on the Bruno, and that is something I feel could be a very good strategy. No one's going for any cheeky invades as of now, so I still think pressurizing Bruno is going to be the key in this situation, because you want to shut him down early, and you also want at the same time your Clint to farm up quickly, but the fight kind of breaking out only to stop.
Yeah, man, as of now, I agree with what you said as well, but Okami Friends, they don't have the luxury to actually, prioritize and protecting Bruno because of the fact that in the early stages, Martis does have this early aggression and power spike from level 4, level 5 to this degree. Giving away free kills to this Martis is gonna set themselves up for a big disaster later on because of the fact that Fredrin's power spike does come online a little bit later compared to the Martis. So the only thing that Okami Friends can really do right now is just to kind of keep tabs on where Amar is pretty much as well as Swaggers pretty much are, and just kind of dodge fights and then set ourselves up for later on. Because as we had first total control, Shuki already in control, and they are setting up for an ambush potentially. And Okami Friends can't really do too much about this because of the fact that the Matilda is still almost level 4, and I don't think they want to force a fight without this Matilda's ultimate here.
Yeah, that too. And also on the side of Team Shooky, they would also want quickly the final slash coming in from Arla. So you already see, Arla just getting that level 4 quickly. Lilia also has now got the black shoe, so we might possibly see the engaged turtle for now being controlled by Okami Friends.
Yep. Senzi almost hitting those 4, dropping down low as well. Mio trying to zone him off. Turtle gonna be contested as well, but Hydra with the retreat steals the turtle, and now they have the turtle buff, and of course they also disengage from the fight. Barely below. Hydra still in the front lines trying to set up for another team. He's got the taunt available. Swaggers getting taunted up, but they just don't have the follow-up. Okami now finally drops the Senzi's penalty zone, but they just don't have the follow-up. He might actually die to this and eventually will fall. That's going to be first blood in the hands of Shuki. Okami Friends overcommitting that fight there because of the fact that Criminal as well as Yunnan was already chipped away so low.
Both the EXP laners falling now, and we're still going to see Matilda poking a lot. I'm not quite sure if that's actually the right possible way, but look at the HP! He still wants to go in for the contest, uses the flicker as well, but is decimated right off the bat. Swaggers just swagging all around. That was an overcommitment out there.
Yeah, that is a little bit mistake here. Okami Friends, rolled the dice, got the gangball, hoping to get a 6. Unfortunately, rolled a 2. In this case, Swaggers will take advantage of that level lead here, and hopefully he's going to be able to snowball a little bit more. Second total going to be coming up in about 50 seconds. Okami Friends, they are trading blow for blow, but as of yet, Mio, obviously, he's going to be playing the Black Shoe. There's not really a lot of big ultimates he can actually take advantage of unless he finds Sensi. And as of yet, Okami Friends, they're very aware on what Mio is going to be doing here. They're trying to force out this ultimate coming from this Valentina. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen anytime soon though.
I still think that Valentina could have probably stolen away the penalty zone if Mia wanted to, but for now, just going to stick with the black shoes. It's kind of okay because it gives you a tool to probably fall back on if in case you're off position, or maybe if you're getting caught off guard. But as of now, look at that. That bush almost Swaggers was
Oh,
his
okay.
senses were tingling at that point. He was like, all right, nah, I'm not gonna go into that. But the reposition by Hydra as well, they want to control this turtle pit and also want to cut off any kind of link between the marksman and the jungler.
Yep, very smart of them, but as of yet, turtle control still not in favor of Okami friends here. Criminal, gonna be starting those with out here. He's gonna try and zone out the Rafaela. He gets a nice knock here. Swagger's getting chipped out pretty low. He's gonna try and gamble for his as well, but Swagger's steals it away, takes the retribution, yoinks his way, and Mio now taking a lot of damage. He's got the black shield, finally pops it away, but now he will be the sacrificial lamb as he flickers down to try to draw aggro away. And fortunately for him, he's got the mobility to get out. Senzi goes for the penalty zone, finally catches Mio and says, "You're not getting out of there." And Hydra will trade him off 1-0. Turtle in the hands of Shooky, but they get a mid laner kill from the side of Okami friends.
That's gonna help Yunnan as well, because now he'd be able to get that wave cleared in and also move in for those rotations towards the other side. And now Clint is also being forced to take that recall. I love the fact that there's absolutely no turrets still being stolen away. Clearly shows how both the teams are so very objective oriented. But honestly, I love the play that was there in the bottom side. Yes, you could also say Okami friends, they were kind of desperate in that situation because they wanted some kind of redemption after losing the retry battle against Swaggers. But getting the Valentina, and that was a combination of a spear, of also a hammer. There was no way Mio was surviving that. But either ways, as of now, again a reset, and both the teams just going in for some slow rotations, controlling the river, and that seems to be the name of the game for either of them. But I love the fact how quickly there is just cut off the rotation towards the bottom and now wants to go in towards the mid.
Yeah, as of yet as well, we do see Sensi's going to be grouping up the teams from the side of Okami friends. They want to play as 4 as of yet and let the Bruno get his free from the top side. So far, he's going to be uncontested, but now, no lane, they dropped the penalty zone as well. The stolen ultimate here from Mio will get him out to safety, and Sensi gets bursted down from Swaggers. Nice decimation there. And that's going to be another kill coming from Shooky, and so far, Shooky living up to expectations. And they are doing a fantastic job as of now. And Okami friends seem to be scrambling a little bit more because right now the Rafaela is just giving so much value in terms of sustainabilities and mobility right now.
That's indeed true. They're making sure that the Clint is not falling whatsoever. But Bruno has not fallen yet. So that's some worrisome things coming in on their way. Because you know Bruno is going to be literally chipping down anyone who's tanky or anyone who's not even tanky. I've seen him two-shotting the marksmen. But as of now, again, another retry battle seems to be on way.
Okay, eyes on me, dropping it down a little bit low. Nice. Gotta be forced to back off. That's gonna be Hydra securing the turtle. Swaggers needs to get out. He's dropping it a little bit too low. He's a little bit tanky. Nice. Gonna be giving him a little bit of heals. He flickered for it, but unfortunately he was chain stunned, and that's gonna be the first time Swaggers will fall down, giving Okami friends a little bit more of a power spike to actually go in for the fight. And Hydra, this is what I'm talking about. Fredrin's power spike starting to showcase as well of how annoyingly hard to take down Frederick, especially with the assist of Matilda. One wrong move, you are going to be expecting that big fat appraiser's wrath, and Team Shooky are very aware of that as well.
That is indeed true. Even though they were able to steal her with a second turtle, it does not have provided a lot of value. A good stun coming in from Valentina, saving the life of Mio himself, but they've still got to clear this mid wave, and you already can see eyes on me now dealing a ton of damage. And also this Lilia, my goodness, with the shadow energy balls, Yunnan is just being as annoying as he can be. And just as you mentioned, Swagger, yes, he had a power spike that would come up earlier than Hydra, but at this point, I think so. It's just, my goodness, eyes on me being absolutely nasty at that point. And Mio still wants to go in for the circling eagle, stole it away and created some gap.
Oh, he needs to get out right now. Nicey provided an assist as well. They dropped down pretty low. Unfortunately, this is the downside of having a Valentina right now, right? Back then, Valentina having a lot of magical damage is going to be a buzz them true. But with the sustains coming from Okami friends, it's going to be very difficult. And now Mia, he will fall. Tier 1 falls as well. The backline penalty zone catches the backlines as well. Okami friends, they're going to chip his way through. And finally, Hydra pops off in a double kill. And this is the Bruno we are going to be looking at as well, as the crits are coming away 9 minutes into the game, and Shooky completely forgot that the Bruno exists in this game. And now in the middle lane as well, Amar might be in a little bit of trouble. Hydra keeping him in check. This Arlott is very, very tanky. But with the Bruno coming in, he's taking some serious damage. And Okami friends will play the discipline game. Takes a tier 1. Traverse on the top side as well. Major item pickups as well being purchased from Okami friends.
Hydra picking up the plate armor, so you already know that there's absolutely no way he's going to take a lot of that physical damage for nothing. You will be basically dealing some damage to your own self, so Silver would have to play smart and play safe. Now here's where Clint kind of falls off, but we'll talk about that later. There's already circling Eagle being committed onto Swaggers, who's just going to Mortal Coils out of that way.
Mio.
But still, there's gonna be Mio being caught out. Unstoppable. That's the damage of Bruno in the mid to late game. But as of now, MR would also need to create that gap. What a lovely way to push everyone back from Team Shooky.
Oh, Mio, he thought he had the black shoe, but he got chain stun, and now here comes Holy Baptism, stops the tempo, gets Amar out to safety, and that's gonna be a reset coming in. Swaggers from the side finds a pickup. That's gonna be criminal. The annoying Matilda goes down. Unfortunately, the Lord will be safely taken out. Swaggers tries to go for the last hoorah. Unfortunately, just a second too late, and Okami friends will get the freebie of that kill. And just like that, Okami friends will continue with their snowball lead with a 5k net worth lead.
They're also increasing it further because just a few minutes ago I saw that it was just a 2k lead in favor of Okami friends, but Team Shooky, I don't even know what kind of late game insurance they have in their team, because Mio, yes, on a Valentina he would be able to deal a decent amount of damage, but on a front line that's coming in the form of Senzi on that Terizla, Hydra on Fredrin, I don't think so if he would even be allowed to do that, because you could see Eyes on Me, he is literally bursting anyone who's coming up close. And there are also Lilia's Shadow Energy Balls you need to worry about, but for now they need to worry about the purple buff.
Yep. As of yet, seeing how the Lilia is popping on his own. Great final slash to try and start things off, but again, there's just no follow-up. And the setups coming from Team Shooky is a little bit lacking here. They need Amar for that big final slash. In this case, Okami friends will gladly play around this, and as we had with the Lord knocking down the bottom side as well, tier 3s going to be popping off those shields. That's going to be the first burst coming in, but okay, Rise, he is going to be going for the circling Eagle. He gets a couple of reaction base. Now final slash comes in. Hydra says, you know what, I don't care, I'm getting out of gliding wind. Whoop, he's out. Nothing much they can do about this.
Yeah, and also the mid lane inhibitor being already chunked down to half HP, and this is just the first slot that we're talking about, and so much damage being dealt. And one thing that I also want to focus on is the penalty zone coming in, the Holy Baptism to stop them in their tracks, and that Stir is already falling with a fighting slash connecting. They want to force the issue along with the circling Eagle. Now Rise needs to run away, he needs to rise backwards, but still a monster kill with all eyes on me, and another pick off onto Swaggers. He's not surviving that, neither will Silver, as just one of those Powerball shots is enough by Eyes on Me to shut everyone down.
Oh, that looked like a mistake from Okami friends, and Eyes on Me was definitely getting the biggest eyes here because he's getting some big crits, and now he will chunk off the remaining members of Team Shooky. Mega kill for them. Ancients exposed. Game 1 in the hands of Okami friends. Very, very nice textbook plays coming from them. Well done indeed. Whew.
Brilliant performance, but my oh my, at last fight, yes, it also seemed to be a massive mistake from Terizla, but still, the way how Okami friends were able to capitalize on the back of that by how Spooky just overstayed their welcome, or more or less like kind of bit more than what they could chew. That was the point wherein they basically lost all the hope. Two people cannot defend against four when there's Eyes on Me dealing so much damage on a Bruno, and has got such a tanky front line in the form of Hydra on that Fredrin. That was just a brilliant play. And again, love the fact how they were able to utilize that textbook play, just as you mentioned, to get into a smooth and easy snowball without any major difficulties. I think so the win condition of Team Shooky should have been to get that early game control as much as possible, which Okami friends denied.
You know, not gonna lie, in terms of damage output as well as the drafts here, I feel like Okami friends, they've definitely mirrored Shooky definitely mirrored Okami friends a little bit too much. But the only downside they were lacking is that the counter engagements that is being bringing out to the table, right? When we talk about AoE CCs, you know, we have Fredrin with those taunts, a lot of annoying AoE CCs. We've got the penalty zone as a follow-up to actually set through the play. But from the side of Spooky, they didn't have that. They only had the final stage to kind of start things off. But where's the follow-up? Holy Baptism isn't the easiest target to actually kind of be in the front lines to actually follow up through that because of the fact that Rafaela is always being in the back line. So I guess like the idea from Spooky is there, but in terms of prioritizing their formations, it's gonna be a little bit different compared to Okami friends. And because of that slight alliteration, it caused them to kind of lose that fight. So to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, it was very close, but it only came down to execution. That's all. It was very close, but it just came down to execution.
Yeah, that is true. Because since all of the turtles we saw how contested they were, I was expecting Swaggers to get more than what he actually got. He probably got just 1 second turtle. And apart from that, every other turtle was kind of being controlled by Okami friends. So they were the ones who were still having that momentum in the early game, or they were just not letting it go in the hands of Spooky. Whereas I probably thought that since they picked up a Clint, now we already know Brody and Clint, they're pretty solid in that early to mid game, right? You can get their snowball, you can get their power spikes earlier than the opponents, and then they would just be able to siege in through and even penetrate through any kind of defense that your opponents builds up. But if in case the opponents get a little too tanky, then Clint would not be able to penetrate through them. And that is exactly what Okami friends did. They made sure that their front lines were tanky enough to tank through any kind of damage that Clint will bring onto them, only for Eyes on Me to just free hit all of those power balls onto their faces, get those half of HP chunks out of them, and that's exactly what they did. Another beautiful, I think so, approach wherein Okami friends took, and I loved the rotation coming in from Senzi every single time. He was just a step ahead from Arlott.
Yeah, I agree. And I really liked how Okami Friends was able to capitalize on these situations, right? Yeah, Shooky, they had a very annoying light up to deal with, right? In this case, having this Rafaela, giving the mobility, they have to extend so much into this fight to force to actually catch any members coming from the side of Shooky. And you can even see all these skirmishes. Okami friends have been very smart and decisive on how they want to take their fights, right? Every single time, hey, they think they're overextending a little bit too much, they back off, and then they go in for the regroup and then reset and pick another fight again. And Team Shooky, however, their biggest strength is always going to be the counter engagements. They have to play around the Holy Baptism and then play with the final stage. And every single time that happens, you can see that it's either Amar or Nais pretty much separated or picked off. In this case, this was the only time that Shooky showed a little bit of hope where, hey, we are going to set up for a counter engage, and if we win this fight, we are going to go all in. Unfortunately, the power lead coming from Okami friends was a little bit too far. Like, at this stage, it was like a 7k net worth difference here. Eyes on Me was like level 14. Silver was only level 12. He's barely got enough net worth to actually counter damage. And of course, this is pretty much a very, very easy win coming from Okami friends. And if this fight just like moments away were like a 50-50 scenario where both have equal economy, I feel like Shooky would have won that hands down.
Highly possible, because Clint would have also had that extra bit of penetration, plus also Valentina. I saw her picking up the Lightning Truncheon as well, so you already know she was building up to just the next item that was the penetration as well. And that could have helped them burst through those front lines, which on the other side, Okami friends were being able to do. Just as you mentioned, it is kind of difficult to pull off the final slash in the similar kind of way in which Terizla can pull off that penalty zone. So yes, those in terms of the initiation tools, they would just had to wait for Okami friends to kind of try and make a mistake play, which they eventually did even in that last fight. But all in all, it was the MVP on Eyes on Me, and Asklaw into the Berserker's Fury, just as you mentioned, along with the Malefic Roar and Wind Talker as well. He was probably building the Blade of Despair as the last item, not even respecting any kind of damage from Silver, not making any Athena shield from Mio or even a Wind of Nature in that sense, just going in for some pure raw damage because he knows Rise is always there to bail him out.
Yeah, and at the same time as well, considering the fact that, I like to actually brought up the point, right? Why didn't he go for the Athena shield? And considering how Okami friends has been rotating the first 8 minutes of the game, they always rotate away from the gold laner. And every single time Eyes on Me was getting the initial matchup that he needs, which is a 1v1 against a Clint, which in this case doesn't really help Clint at all. Yes, they're trading 50-50s, but why do I need defensive items? All I need is just one big major item. In this case, he got the Heartclaw, he got his Berserker's Fury and his Malefic Roar before a major fight down top. And ever since he got that, he just snowballed so hard to a point that every single time Mio tries to make a play, boom, gets chunked down to his half HP. Rafaela needs to top him up. They need to go for reset. And because of all this push and pull, tug and war concept that has been happening in all these skirmishes, it kind of allowed more room for Okami friends to just pick one fight, get the kill. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna back off. Pick this fight. If I get a kill, great. If I don't get a kill, it's okay. I still have so much possibilities to reset because of the fact that in terms of them juggling damage taken, Frederick, hey, I'm just gonna walk up in front of you. Oh, you give me some damage? Great. I've got a Matilda that can heal me up. Oh, great. If you don't want to heal me up, it's okay. Here's some appraisals. Boom, everyone dies. So I like the idea that Okami Friends has compared to Spooky, because of the fact that I'm not saying this draft is bad. It's more like the execution that Spooky needs to execute is way difficult compared to what Okami Friends needs to do in terms of just like, hey, I press one button, boom, done. Okami Friends is like, it needs to be this skill first, this skill first, this skill first in order to win the fight. So I would say it's a little bit difficult to play compared to Okami Friends.
Yeah, that is true. I would also agree on that fact. Plus, one more thing that since you mentioned about the execution, which I want to bring the light on, was the fact how quickly we've already mentioned that how Terizla was rotating faster than the Arlot. And on the back of that, they were always having that one extra tool, one extra utility to throw right onto that table. So maybe this time around, since sides have been swapped, we will see some kind of changes in the draft. But I still feel that Arlot is kind of a good tool if you've got a winning mid lane and also a winning gold lane. So otherwise, Arlot kind of becomes the weak link of your team. And I still do not want to say that it was Amar who was not playing good. He was playing decent. He was playing actually very good. But when you're up against a Terizla who's got a lane advantage and you are heavily dependent on your final slash just to possibly kind of go ahead and clear the lane against a Terizla, I think so it kind of dims out and Terizla shines up, and that's what happened in the previous one. Senzi winning it, but for now the bans, Bruno being respect ban in this case. Oh my.
Yeah, this is smart. This is really, really smart because, like I said as well, it's one of the very few heroes that can actually take advantage of the Haas Claw in towards the Berserker's Fury. And because of that, it is very annoying because of the fact that middle game, great, I can power spike. I have 2 items, I can do a lot of damage in team fights. Whereas Trinity build, you need all 3 items in case to actually kind of team fight properly. And Bruno is just the perfect hero to do that. And among all the marksmen currently in meta, Bruno is the only hero where if you feed him a kill or 2, he is gonna snowball very, very high compared to other marksmen where like, hey, you've got this 1-1, I've got 3 kills, great. But if 1-1 doesn't have like 4 items, yeah, it doesn't matter if he gets 4 kills or whatever. Yeah, it still hurts, but it's not as crazy where like I can 1v3, you know? In this case, we did see like Bruno, like I think Yunnan was able to get like 2-3 massive kills in the bottom tier 1 because of the fact that he got like a Haas Claw and a Berserker's Fury. He gets 3 very easy kills, continue the snowballs, and there's just nothing much they could have done, unfortunately.
Horology is my craft. Diggy is my game.
Alright, so this time around we're seeing a Diggy ban coming in from Okami Friends. Still want to see, maybe they would want to pick up a Phobius for themselves, or just want to go in for a hyper CC composition. We'll just have to see how Spooky answers this one with, because they've got quite a few picks up on the table. You've got the Guinevere, and again, you can pick that up, but there's also a Phobius up for grabs. So if you decide to go for a Phobius, you know that there might be an Esmeralda coming from the other side, and they might not even pick up so many dashing heroes. You've got the Lancelot open this time around from the previous game, so I think so we might see a switch up there, but maybe a Matilda can also be taken up by Spooky. Totally depends on which kind of composition they want to go with.
Okay, you know, seeing how this draft comes into play as well. Oh, okay, Guinevere. Alright, sure. You know what? If I get a Guinevere right now, there's just so many options I can do. You know, I can play it XP, I can play it mid lane, even though it's not been tested yet competitively. We've seen a lot of jungle Guineveres. But the reason why Guinevere is extremely annoying is that when he hits a big fat Violet Requiem, he is gonna juggle you all the way through, and there's nothing really much you can do to actually disrupt him. And it also works really, really well if you set it up with heroes like a Novaria. Just the ultimate just increases the hitbox and just extends those range. You pair it up with a Minotaur, it gives them more knockup damage to a certain degree. So I guess if they want to play around the knockup composition, they can. But I'm not really sure if Okami cares too much about that, right? Like, it's like I said, Guinevere, very, very small conditions that actually gives him this additional damage boost. But if they dodge those fights, there's nothing really much a Guinevere can actually do about this.
Yeah, that is true. Plus, we've also seen some tanky build on the Guinevere in the jungle, right? So maybe if in case they don't get any early value, just as you mentioned, they would have to wait for Guinevere to farm up just so she can get an extra bit of tankiness to tank a few shots that would be coming in from Brody. Might as well have it picked up way too early on right now. So this time around, Spooky try and bring up a counter draft up against the Valentina as well as the Brody. There are two ways of countering the Valentina. First is that you can pick up some ultimates that are basically useless to her, or you can pick up so many that you basically bamboozle your opponent to choose one of them, and they're going to spend half of the time thinking which one is the best for which kind of situation. But you were already mentioning Guinevere into an position, and that's exactly what we are seeing. And also with some additional mobility, this time around Mathilda being grabbed up by Spooky. I want to see the answer coming in from Okami, friends.
Oof, I don't really like this draft coming from... this is difficult. Like, playing double roam into Guinevere, I've seen it happen before, but you have to have one of the strongest early rotations, right? Like, you have to be very quick. You need to be able to zone people off. And when it comes to opening apps, you need a frontliner to open up maps. Having a Guinevere open up maps pretty much diminishes the idea of, like, hey, this is a surprise jump. Boom, here's my magic thumb. Boom, here's my wombo combo. That's great. But, of course, Mortis easily counters that. Great timing by Ashura, pretty much gets him out of safety. Nothing really much they can follow up with, unless the XP laners are a very, very annoying setup. In this case, I guess banning off Tarisla is great. Banning off Khalid is pretty much good as well for Okami friends to kind of limit all those high sustainable XP laners. But no, Okami, they just ban off the Ixia. Alright, okay, interesting. Novaria into Ixia out hurts a lot, but did not expect that ban at all, but alright, okay. Huh.
Might as well have been a situation where you put the Eve into the Ixia. I mean, with those extra slow coming in from the Ice Queen Fawns, the Ultimate Barat's gonna be so very useful. But we're gonna still wait and see how it eventually pans out. Because even I was not expecting a ban in this situation. But still, quite a few marksmen who can try and pose some problems for the Brody in the early one. Minotaur being taken out. So I can understand where it's coming from, because Minotaur, it gets the additional heal onto you, and then can also kind of go in for an early invade into the jungle. Plus, you already know that if you're going in for a setup, the Minion Fury is a tool that you really want off of that bow.
Yeah.
Terizla being banned out, you called for it.
Yeah, agreed. But of course, Yuzhong also be banned. Okay. Banning off the Yuzhong pretty much limits their option. That means they are pretty much set up on the stage where they either go for Khalid, maybe even export for XP laner, in terms of contributing in CCs, right? From the side of Spooky. But for Okami friends, they have a lot of options, and they choose to go for the Uranus. In my mind, I was thinking Uranus. I don't really like the composition if Spooky decides to go for it, but looks like they don't really want to play the healing composition. They are going to play the Uranus XP to kind of mirror that and force their XP laner to play with the Uranus. And in this case, if they go for a Khalid or maybe even an Arlot from the side of Spooky, they're forced to be playing in Shooky. They pretty much force they have the XP laner always there and not able to rotate between lanes as quickly. And this is going to be a big problem for Shooky right now.
That is indeed true, but I honestly wanted to see an Esmeralda coming in from Okami friends, because yes, just as Uranus, you can be as annoying with the Esmeralda as you want to be, plus there's some additional shield coming in from Mathilda, so might as well just take on to that extra healing.
Okay.
Beatrix along with the Arlot. So we know that Amar is going to face the exact same problem with the previous one, right? Plus, in this situation, I think so all Amar could do would be to try and just brick wall Senzi. Otherwise, there's absolutely no way he's going to win that matchup. And Sensi might as well be able to freeze the lane in his favor to deal some early chunk of damage onto Amar. So it might not be the best matchup, but on the other side, Silver this time around picking up the Beatrix as well. I want to see how iZombie plays in this one. He was playing extremely well on the Bruno, and Brody is even a more crazy tool, especially for the early game.
I, I would be so mad if they decided to put the Uranus as roamer instead of the XP lane. Like, oh, okay, thank you for not doing that, because if they still put the Uranus as a roamer and still win, I'll be so mad, because they shouldn't be getting away with this. But of course, Kaja, one of the top prio picks in most of the regions actually, as one of the strongest roamers set up for fights. In this case, when the Guinevere comes in, Divine Judgment can cancel off the Violet Requiem, right? It's not like the Nolan where you drop the fracture, immune to every single CC. Great. If the Guinevere jumps in, you get Divine Judgment, your combo gets messed up, and there's just nothing really much they can do. So I like this composition coming from them. And Okami, they seem to have a better understanding. But except for the Uranus, I think they still have the stronger opportunity compared to Spooky right now, based on this draft.
Yes, I would agree with you on all of those points because, again, if you look at just those engaging tools, yes, you've got Swaggers who will be jumping in with a partial migration. You also have the Mathilda, who you already know will be going in for the circling eagle. But on the other side, you've got a Martis in the hands of Hydra. You know, he's just going to run off the bats, and it's going to be difficult to catch Senzi as well. But we're going to keep all the speculations for the game, guys, as we'll be jumping back in. Game number 2. Team Spooky on the blue, Okami Friends on the red. Advantage for the side of Okami Friends. Let's see if Team Spooky can find the equalizer.
Well, Team Spooky, just gone Shooky right now, because as of yet, they are going to be in a situation where we do see, Criminal having a little of confidence here. Kaja, does not go for the Brave Smite, instead going for the Quantum Charge to take advantage of this mobility, which in this case, Shooky will be lacking compared to before because of those Rafaela. And this is going to be a problem because this Kaja is going to be extremely annoying. And if they don't get a kill off him, which I don't think they can even do too much because of a double roam composition, you can see Yuna just showing so much confidence and say like, hey, they don't have a strong frontliner. I can just trade with Matilda very, very well. And there's just nothing much the Matilda can do. And look at this. This is exactly Okami Friends' strategy right now. You can even see Hydra calling in to say like, hey, what's up? What you doing? And Shooky just cannot contest this at all. Absolutely nothing you can do about this.
I saw you using the red tree on the buff. Might as well, I steal it away from you. But that is absolutely correct. They can't do anything. And even if you look at the EXP lane, wherein we're going to see the fight brought in. And that's the first blood. Swagger has been taken down. And that's the jungler coming in. And Amar also facing the aggression. Now goes in, dashes in again. Yeah. All right. He's going to survive. He's going to flicker. That's so many tools used up.
Yep, this is smart. This is really, really smart of Okami Friends. They're just playing to the XP laners. You've got a Uranus, opens up map very, very well. You've got a Kaja, opens up map very, very well as well. Whereas, Mio probably needs a little bit more items and time before he can contribute in this double mage compositions. In this case, Shooky already losing Swaggers right from the this fight. He does not have his level 4, and this turtle is gonna be a free one for Okami Friends. In this case, look at this. Team Shooky has no choice but to just concede turtle control, and this is gonna be an easy one for Okami Friends. And the snowball will continue as Hydra already level 5.
It's true, and it all came back to exactly the pick. But for now, since we're already talking about the pick, torn apart memory, not quite catching Silver. That was a best use of the flicker in that situation. But look at how Okami Friends are playing. They're putting pressure on every single part of the map. Because guess what? If you look at the gold lane, Brody is going to be winning that lane against Beatrix in the early part. Unless Silver uses the Nibiru's passion in a proper way, only to clear off the waves. And if he does that, he would not be able to put in a great support in those team fights. So iZombie even picked up the Heptasy. So that's already an early power spike. If I'm not wrong, he's already taken a ton of gold off that top side.
Yeah, that's a lot as well. I did see the gold platings dropped up pretty much. So in this first 3 minutes, this is a beautiful start coming from Okami Friends. They've got like a 2k net worth lead. 2k may not be a lot in the later stage game, but in this 3 minutes game, 2k net worth difference is a very, very detrimental in this case. Bottom side. Oh wow, Amar, he gets a kill onto Sensi, and Not exactly sure how that happened, but that is a very, very good opening that they need because that is going to give them a little bit control down bottom side. However, Turtle not on the top side, so Okami Friends has only two options they can do. Force a fight up top or force to defend bottom lane. In this case, they are going to try and make something happen here. Top side though.
Whoa, what a beautiful circling eagle being used up just to dodge away the suppression of Kaja. Torn apart memory being used up, but Eyes on Me will survive, and so will everyone else on the side of Team Shooky. The idea was great by Okami Friends, but not quite sure if that was exactly the target they wanted for the Divine Judgment and not Silver, because that was just a brilliant way to use up the circling eagle. Everything was just immune, and if this kind of thing happens again, you already know Team Shooky will have the opportunity to come back in this one, because they've already capitalized on the mistake coming in from Senzi, because he was again just doing what Uranus does, jumps into your base, tries to get two different waves, and they had the idea of what was happening, so they managed to finish him off, and that too in style. But for now, we're seeing Hydra taking the turtle already, and the final smash.
Oh, final stash opens up the way here. Here comes the Echo coming in as well. 3 men tagged out from side Okami Friends. They are going to try and force the issue, but Mio will be the ones to secure the turtle. They're all clumped up, and Team Shooky will go in for the wombo combo. Swaggers finally finds an opportunity. They take not one, but they take two with Sensi now. Gonna be the next to be potentially caught out, but this is a very tanky Uranus, and Shooky says, you know what, it's just not worth it. We finally get them some space, and we are gonna try and go to a different side. And Amar almost losing his life here. He just got his dominance ice here, and that's good for Team Shooky. Unfortunately, he was just, what, 10 seconds late before that fight. If he had the dominance ice, maybe, just maybe, Shooky would have gotten another kill on Zenzi.
Highly possible, but again, you already know Senzi. He also picked up his own dominance ice, so now Aman would not be able to heal as much as he was doing with the Vengeance, and that's going to be troublesome for him. On the other side, you're still seeing Eyes on Me continuously power farming through those minions, while there's absolutely no one to stop the Martis. Concealed play, and that's gonna be the Divine Judgment. A brilliant one, but another flicker coming in from Mio with the Echo, revealing a lot of people while Requiem connecting, and that's already Yunnan taken care of. And now they're gonna follow it up as well onto Rise, as the rotation came in perfectly on time by Aman. But still, you have the Uranus surviving, and they do not want to put their attention onto him.
Yep, now they have to go for Spice Wall. Here comes the Rockets coming in from Silver, but Eyes on Me is still chinking away at HP. They want to try and kill Amar. The total bomb memories all connects, but is not enough stacks. But at the same time, Amar, what are you doing? Oh my goodness, you're a little bit overconfident, but Eyes on Me says, you know what, it's just not worth it. I have no teammates. It's just not worth trading my life for this. Sensi just gonna annoy the heck out of the supports here, and Shooky will continue to assault here. Nice. Gonna be a little bit trouble. This is a tank Matilda. He's gonna be a-okay, but Sanzi gonna look for a solo kill. Unfortunately, just a little bit too risky. Sanzi, proc the recall. I know you want to. No, he's not gonna do it. Okay. I thought he was gonna, be annoying, but all right. He's gonna play it safe. Wait, what?
God.
How?
Yeah, they were playing safe, but Silver was not yet again caught in with the Divine Judgment. Rise is doing a brilliant job onto the Kaja. And you already know he was about to do that time and time again. Crazy. Still trying to open up the map for his teammates, but Swagger's got absolutely no opening. Circling Eagle being connected, but again, it's just Sensi who's taking her away from the turtle. So again, no way to open up the map, and Sensi is doing absolutely brilliant job. You do not have Silver to burst him down, and he is just going to be in your backline because Mio can't do that either.
Yeah, in this case, Mio obviously going to be in a situation where he is going to be the damage dealer for the team. And I like how Shooky's been playing so far. They are playing towards their strengths, and that is playing a split fight. If they go for a head-to-head around this Kaja, they are going to be a little bit of trouble, but they do have the damage to threaten them. And if Okami Friends, again, like I said, overextends and overcommits because of the fact that they are stronger than Team Shooky, they are going to get punished. And in this case, they are in an awkward position. They do get a nice catch in. Swaggers get picked off. But where's the counter engagement? Shooky, they just don't have it here. They have the final slash coming in. They will trade off Yunnan, and that's a big pickup. Unfortunately, Amar, a little bit too tanky, but the Matilda, the Flash of Oasis, and the Gliding Wind saves him. Gets him now to safety. Saves the day for Team Shooky, but they will still lose the tier 1. And now the counter engage comes in. Rise won't be able to get out. And Team Shooky will lose the tier 1 as well.
Yeah, that is true. And even though they lost Senzi in that fight, but it's just his first death in the game. So he can cut himself some slack because they also got the tier 1 on the top side. So a big win coming in for Okami friends. But also, I want to bring the attention back to the point wherein they've got a Brody in their hands. Beatrix is just going to scale very hard into that late game, but Brody is going to fall off. So all Team Shooky needs to do right now is just make sure that the Beatrix does not die too often. Silver almost getting caught, but Hydra would probably be able to steal it away. Yeah.
Oh, Swaggers, he tried to go in for the retry. Unfortunately, he is gonna lose out in that trade-off. In this case, Okami friends will have the advantage here. Hydra looking to go for the punish, misses the mark here, but the Divine Judgment pulls Naze away. Matilda, does he have the flick away? Nope, the Torn Apart Memories will pick him apart, and that's gonna be Okami friends that takes him out. Tier 1 gonna be the next objective here from the side of Okami friends. Mio doing a good job clearing the waves. But do they have what it takes to call in for a fight? Because Amar will be rotating from side. He finds the Yunnan, but at the same time, there's just no follow-up. They're just so split off from the team. Silver, nowhere to go in for the follow-up. Small drops the rocket, completely whiffs the mark. And now they force the final slash as well. And Okami friends will get absolutely everything in that trade-off. Force major ultimates. And guess what? Lord on the top side. This is going to be huge for Okami friends.
Exactly, and Yunnan also picking up the Lightning Truncheon. You know that additional damage is going to burst through the back lines if in case Silver is not playing safe. And you've got the Matilda, yes, that is true, but again, that's going to be the Divine Judgment. Partial migration to bail himself out, but they still want to try and contest for it. I'm still not quite sure if they really would want to go for this fight because again, that's going to be the Circling Eagle being committed. It cancels it out as well. Midway, the Lord will be reset because again, Okami friends wants to just find the target. They want to pick someone off. They were taking a chunk of damage and being chunked down to pretty low HP, but the concealed play is going to come in now.
Oh, Conceal comes in. Swagger misses the market. They have to back off. And again, Team Shooky, they're just banging on this spatial migration to get as many players as possible. They can't seem to get the follow-up. Purple buff is going to be the objective. Amar, again, tries to go for a settle. Echo connects the back lines. And now Hydra and Senzi split off from the fight. But they do have the follow-up to go through here. Here comes the clump up. The Rockets completely whiffed the mark. Final Slash also whiffs the mark. And now Eyes on Me finish them off Naze. And Silver will be the next to fall. Okami friends takes advantage of Shooky's misplay, and just like that, they will pick them all bit by bit. Swagger finally drops the combo in, but it is on the wrong target. Senzi just has the HP and the health to tank through all of that. And Okami friends loses only a marksman, but as of yet, they will play it slow. They just don't want to take the risk, I guess.
But the question is for how long can they afford to play slow? But for now, you can't really afford to use all your utilities on Senzi, who's literally just Uranus, and you've also got Rise in the vicinity, so you know the Divine Judgment will also come into play. But every other time, they're just trying to chunk him down. It's going to give him even more stats to probably regenerate his HP. He's got the Consecration as well, so he's buying time for his teammates because Hydra is already chunking down Lord, almost down to half HP. Senzi is taking a lot of time. No one to open up the map because Swagger is also taking a decent amount of damage. The Echo will finally reveal it. Goes in for the shot but does not connect. As we're going to see the engage going in along with the Divine Judgment. They already won Nezik on that. Mia has already been taken care of and the Lord has been secured in, but none other than Martyrs.
Oh, so unlucky. But now, before we talk about the fight as well, Okami friends, they will continue to snowball in. Senzi trying to slow them down as much as they can. But do they have the damage? ISB slowly picking them apart. He does not have the Torn Apart Memories. He does have the stun, but the turret doing a lot of damage. The final snatch from Omar saves the day. Picks him apart, punishes his aggression. And just like that, Okami friends, they lose their gold laner. And Shooky still holds on for their dear life. Ooh-wee, what an engagement. But now, let's take a little bit of a rewind here and break it down what happened in the Lord fight, because from my perspective, I saw Hydra try to bait out the fight, and because of how low he was, Shooky, Swaggers actually went in, missing the mark, landed on the Lord Storm, and because of that knockup, Hydra was able to force a preemptive retry from Swagger and just yoinks the Lord away from Okami friends and still secures his life. What a crazy play from Okami friends, man.
Exactly, and I also love the Divine Judgment coming in from Rise because he made sure that there's no way you would see Nazi going in for that circling eagle, or also any of our teammates probably trying to jump in for that help. But still, since he knew Eyes on Me was dead, so there's no way they're going to be able to siege off the inhibitor tower. Stop punch, jump to very low HP though. But apart from that, mid tier 2 still standing strong. So no way that Team Shooky would be able to get access of their own jungle unless they pick Lindsay apart maybe, but I don't think so. They want to use the utilities, but the concealed play comes in. But again, everything denied along with the final slash connecting, and we're going to see a barrage of deaths on the side of Okami friends. Yet 1-for-1 trade coming in, since he's going to fall, but the immortality will be popped up. You still have Eyes on Me going in for those free hits. Amar is extremely low. He'll be deleted as well. Swaggers and Silver will have to retreat backwards, but my, oh my. Mio with an insane shot gets some kind of redemption. It's a 3-4-2 trade for now in favor of Team Shooky, but they don't want to wait.
Oh, the Winds of Nature!
Don't apart memory, but dodged by, my god, that immunity coming in from Wind of Nature.
Oh, that was so big play here. But, let's break it down what happened here. Shooky, they needed wombo combo, right? They got the final slash on the 4 guys, paired it up with the Circling Eagle, and took advantage by Swagger while they were knocked up, extended the knockup and the damage. And that's the wombo combo that Shooky needs to fight against Okami friends. And again, Okami friends, they're just falling into all these traps from Shooky from game number 1. This is a slightly different approach from game 1, but this is what Shooky needed from game 1. But they're doing it now in game number 2. And Okami friends needs to be a little bit more respectful now, because the more they overextend, the more opportunities they give Shooky to make a play like that. And that's exactly what Shooky needs. And fortunate to say, now with this next Lord coming in, Shooky, they need to find a way to actually get this wipe, because Silver does not have Winds of Nature for this upcoming fight.
That is true. This is exactly what Okami friends know as well. So already committed 4 of their members, wherein it's just Senzi who's in towards that bottom side, cutting the wave whatsoever. Echo is going to reveal a ton of people, but Hydra, I don't think so he's going to face any kind of contest. He's going to take the Lord. Partial migration, dead catch, but it was just a Kaja. Now the concealed play comes in. They want to get a catch retribution used up by Swaggers, only to get that additional movement speed to run off the harm's way. Everyone just moving to safety apart from Amar, and we're going to see the contest going in with the Divine Judgment.
Oh boy, Naze, a little bit unfortunate, gets picked off. Okami friends, beautiful timing as well. But in this case, what can they do at this point? Because as of yet, Shooky seems like they are in a situation where they just can't do too much because of this constant pressure of this Lord push that is coming into the pool. Like, we've got this I would say immune ultimate here, but hold that thought for now, because Sensi almost losing for life. Big ultimate coming from Silver, but do they have enough? They do pick off the Kaja, but this has the immortality, so he's gonna be able to hold on for his dear life for a while. But Okami friends, they might need to sound the retreat here. Lord gonna be on the top side. They are gonna force this fight without the Kaja. This is what Shooky needs. Again, can they capitalize on this though?
Well, the top inhibitor has already taken a beat, right? And even the bottom one's going to be pushed in by Senzi, who's pushed up the wave. And now they can try and focus on the mid one as well. But the final slash connects. And that was a good connect onto Eyes on Me, who will flicker out of the houses. Circling Eagle was also used up, but the Lord still hitting on the base. So there's no follow-up whatsoever. And this time around, Flask of Earth is providing some kind of HP. And that's going to be another engage. Astroleko reveals the position for a killing spree coming in for Silver. He wants to go in for more as his partial migration catches a couple of them. And along with the final slash, now this is Team Shooky is trying to shine as they're going for the chase. Eyes on Me has been taken down, and they are still not stopping.
Oh, the big mistakes from Okami friends. This is what I'm talking about here. They forced the fight, and now Team Shooky, they are going to capitalize. And just like that, they are going to go for Tiwi. One down, bottom, small criminal in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have immortality, but this is a Kaja we're talking about. He's got the sustains. We've got the mage and Arla just poking his way through. But guess what? The rest of the team from Team Shooky says, you know what? We don't care. They fight 8 seconds on the sidelines. We are going to counter engage. And because of this split position, they somehow will be able to hold on. Swaggers drops down pretty low. We've got Silver mowing down the inhibitor. And that's going to be Okami friends somehow managing to defend against this because of Shooky's, I would say, split decision of taking those fights. And if they 5-man down mid, they might have taken the throne. But in this case, because of the creeps down on the top and bottom lane, shoved into his Team Shooky, almost taking the crystal, they are forced to back off. And Okami friend says, wait a minute, we should have lost right there and then, but it's all good, you know? It feels good to be on the winning side right now.
And then Calm down, friends. We're fine. We're still fine. We're winning in 2 different lanes, and it's just the mid inhibitor that we've lost. Yes, the closest way to our crystal, but that's about it, right? We've still got our own enhanced minions. Amar picking up the
Okay, bottom
immortality
lane.
this time around with a concealed play. Yes, indeed, that's gonna be the divine judgment. Brought in Bennett's Rage to cut off any kind of retreat options as well. That's gonna be Senzi probably falling off. No way he's gonna survive that. And another misengage coming in from Okami friends this time around. Another Nibiru's passion. That was absolutely brilliant, pairing up with the Neo Spear. They managed to get 3 in that trade-off, and now Okami friends need to run backwards. Eyes on me, popping off his wind chant as well, using the flicker to try and run off the harm's way. Goes in for the torn apart memory, but he will be taken down. No way you're gonna survive that, and it's all down to Hydra.
Oh boy, this is over. What a comeback coming from Shooky, because Okami friends, they made the mistakes. And now they are gonna play the prize. The crystal was exposed. They've got 5 men. Hydra, last man standing. And the crystal is gonna be mowed down. And Shooky says, we are taking game number 2. We will tie the series for this best of 5. And Team Shooky manages to take a win despite this very, very greedy draft. And Okami friends, they definitely dropped the ball. But Team Shooky, what a beautiful, beautiful opportunities. Like, they were able to find opportunities in the, I would say, the scummiest fights ever. Like, the most chaotic fights. They were able to find so many pickoffs because of the desperation, or maybe even a little bit of a tilt that has been swayed in towards Okami friends in this game number 2. So well done to Team Shooky. Well done indeed.
I mean, the sheer resilience that this team showed, defying all the odds out there. We both guessed that, yes, it might be Okami friends who might take a 2-0 lead at this point. They've got a better draft, but the way everything was executed, I would still give 10 on 10 to Okami friends in that early and mid game in which they were able to take all of those inhibitors. But still, once it came to that mid and late game transition, and in the late game, you saw them dropping the ball not just once, but 2 or 3 different times. And it all started wherein Senzi was in towards that bottom, and he was caught off position wherein no one noticed what actually happened to him, and he was caught right in the base. So I think so that's where the ball started to drop, and eventually there was just one after the other mistakes being committed by Okami friends, or I would just say over engagements time after time, on which Spooky were able to capitalize on. And yes, they were kind of solely relying on the wombo combo of Swagger's initiation into Amar's final slash. It was not working out in the starting, but once at the end everyone started to group up, we saw their effects and we saw how solid that combo was.
You know, I'm gonna give credit to Amar, because Amar played really, really bad in game 1.
True.
Game 2, he was the reason why Shooky was able to stand a chance to actually make a comeback because of the fact of his timings with those fighting slashes, right? Like, every single time, hey, you know, eyes on me, makes an aggressive play. I find the right timing, swaps them all the way through, pairs them up with the circling eagle, and then sets it up for the violet recum and takes up so much damage. All these knockups comes in. Again, like I said, there's not really a lot of opportunities for them to disrupt the combo. If and only if they miss, they bait it up, great. Okami friends is gonna win that fight. But because of all this constant, I would say, overconfidence that Okami friends played, they just dropped the ball. And of course, you know, in case you guys missed out in the action, this is the highlights on how it all went down. Okami friends, they were doing so well. And this, again, we do see a little bit of glimmer of what the mistakes were, right? In that mid fight right there, Okami friends, they over-committed to the fight. Shooky went like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna punish this. And every single time this happens, it kind of buys time for this Novari to come up online, right? Because we haven't really talked too much about Mio's power spike. Novaria, not the strongest early game. It gives you vision, great. But in terms of damage contribution, we don't see that a lot. But once you hit the 4, the 5 item power spike, Novaria hits like a truck. And every single time those shots come in, Okami friends like, wait a minute, why does this Novaria hurt? You know?
I mean, you can also try and make the Athena shield, but there's also magic damage by Swaggers that's going to trigger the passive, and then it's going to go in the cooldown. That was the best window for Mew to capitalize onto all of those Astral Spears. And honestly, I also love the engage that came in onto that Lord fight. And this
This
one
was the turning
fight,
point.
my God, that was literally the turning point, just as you mentioned. And with the way they were able to pick them apart one after the other, and we can also see that yes, there were quite a few engages by the side of Okami friends, but still say eyes on me getting caught a couple of times was possibly the reason why they
Yep.
were not able to end the game at the second Lord.
Agreed. And yeah, even this fight as well, because of Isolmi's health dropping down so low, Okami friends had to
Mhm.
pull stops on towards their aggression. And when they forced the fight, when Isolmi was not there, because of this, Yuhan got picked off. Shuki was getting a little bit of mistakes as well. Even Silver, not gonna lie, his ultimate, his spells has been a little bit scuffed, and he to a point that, you know what, I'm just gonna play auto attack. That's my damage right there. And ever since he switched to an auto attack playstyle, this is where Okami friends started to like, wait a minute, this Beatrix hurt? What? Where did this damage come from? And because of this, they were able to turn the tide. So I would say, Shuki, they definitely found an opportunity because of the fact that all this plays, minute plays, mistakes, I would say overconfidence coming from Recovery Friends is what made them make a come around. I saw a couple of spells where they kind of desynced in terms of, setting up the combos, wombo combos, the Violet Record
Mhm.
misses, the Nibiri's Passion kind of missed here and there. But overall, I would say it was literally Okami Friends' game to lose. And I'm sorry, that's the reason why they lost. Overconfidence. I'm not gonna lie. Game 2 was
That is
straight
true.
up overconfidence.
I mean, they had the dream start, right? Getting every other
Yep.
turtle, winning every single lane. And if you're winning all of the three lanes in that kind of dominating fashion, I mean, not just once, but at least two times we saw Mio almost falling in the mid.
Mm,
But again, still refusing to die, staying solid onto that life, recalling, going back, coming back. Now, those were also the few situations where I think, yes, it was a time for Okami friends to probably grab those mid lane turrets, grab even more objectives that they can. Because I mean, seriously, losing all the three inhibitors, that was a point where Shuki were supposed to be caged in their own crystal. But even after that, they managed to come back. We're going to look at the scoreboard as well right now because eyes on me, yes, he was going 6-4-0, but in the late game, it was a silver shining with that damage. But since we are talking about the entire game, Amar literally deserves the MVP of this game because you can look at it in any way possible. But the way this guy gave in some insane setups, that was outwardly performance from him.
Yeah, I agree. Ama was definitely undeniably the MVP, right? Like, if Ama hasn't been able to find those opportunities, they would not have
Mhm.
been able to drag the game long enough for both Mio and Naze to actually come online, right? Naze, arguably,
True.
his tank, great. But Mio's damage sells in the later stage of the game. Yes, he's 3-1-11, but every single time he dishes out damage, Okami Friends doesn't have those tools to actually sustain those backoffs, right? Like, think about this.
True.
Sensi, he's got his own sustenance. Great. Kaja, he's got his own life steals. But Eyes on Me, Yunnan, and Hydra, these are three heroes that don't have the best way to kind of recuperate their life steals. Yeah, okay, Hydra has got a Sky Gadget, blah, blah, blah. But I'm talking about Eyes on Me. When you take a quick burst of damage from the shots coming from Novaria, you don't really have like a quick way to just, hey, do I go to the jungle and zap up my HP? Even if I do that, it's not going to be full. When I take a team fight, will I get HP like a Haskell lifesteal? Not really the greatest, but
Mhm.
that is me going into the details here. But ideally, I want to talk about the matchups properly. XP lane, Uranus, and Amar versus in this fight. Arlot, great for setups. Okami friends, on the other hand, they did their win condition, which was keeping the Arlot preoccupied on the other side of got the job
Mhm.
done, took all the outer turrets, won the game. Sorry, won the early stage game. But the moment Shuki grouped up, Uranus doesn't really bring too much to the table in terms of team fight, besides being a meat shield.
That is true. And honestly, very well brought up point because I also wanted to bring this one point up myself, wherein, yes, Uranus, no, he is going to be super tanky and probably even better than a Terizla in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, if you think about it, with Terizla, you've got the penalty zone. You can go in
Yep.
for some amazing setups. And again, you've got a decent amount of life steal, right? With the spell vamp, you can get some HP back, which might as well catch your opponents by a small surprise. With the Uranus, you cannot go for any kind of setup whatsoever. And With the Uranus, it's more like an engage, disengage, and then re-engage playstyle, wherein you jump once and then you use the consecration with the purifier to jump out after taking a ton of damage and making sure that your opponents have used up major ultimates or at least their spells. And then when your HP is back up with your passive, you jump back in again. So you'll be like, hey, I'm back, I guess. Come on, do some more damage onto me. Give me the stacks. But with a Terizla, you go in with a full on engage. There's no way to back off after that. So the one tool that the last time Okami friends were using was the Mathilda's guiding winds, wherein if in case he was in a precarious spot, he would just tap it and boom, you're back to safety. But this time around, this it was not the case. And also, since you were mentioning about the regeneration, there was no way for Eyes on Me to do that. Yes, in the previous match, they also had the Mathilda with a flask of Oasis. You get some additional HP back. At least you will not be deleted in one shot. This time around with the Kazi, you don't even have an option to build that up. And yes, Brody, with those small details you talk about, it is a very good snowballer in the early game. But trust me, if he falls off 2 times and it's a mid to late game, there's absolutely no way he's going to get that much amount of value. And it kind of happened.
And I feel like based on this composition here, Okami, they do have a draft very easy to play. Game 1, Game 2 doesn't require a lot of high mechanical skills. But from Shooky's perspective, Game 1 and Game 2, their drafts are very, very difficult to pull off. Game 1, completely with the mark. Game number 2, they somehow, in 20 minutes, tried, I think, 5-6 times. They are the definition of a team that doesn't quit. Eventually pulled off a very, very sick combo with the gliding wind, with the final slash, and then with the Violent Requiem to do so much damage. That one time is all they needed to bounce back. And that's something that I really, really like to see, because it feels like this is a underdog story coming from Shooky. And because of this, they have definitely won my respect. But of course, consistency is going to be key. You brought up a very, very important point, and that is this is a best of 5. It is going to be a long, drawn out game. It's all about understanding your opponents and your play styles. Can they consistently play at this high level mechanic plays from the side of Shooky to pull it off? Because right now, the title series, going to the game 3, it has pretty much shook Okami's gameplay from game number 2, for sure.
Have to play it smartly now this time around. They can't let any loose threads off, because you already know Shooky, yes, they pick up a composition that's more or less like their comfort pick combined with the current meta, and also some difficult combos to pull off. But they've shown in game 2 how well they can pull it off. And if they would have done it once, we might have as well have termed it as a fluke, right? But they did it not just once, but at least 4 or 5 times. So, I mean, there's absolutely no way they can't pull that off in the next game possible. And I also wanted to bring the attention back to the fact that the team who's picking Mathilda is actually winning. And it's not just because of any kind of omen, but more or less because of the fact that you've got the guiding winds, you've got the circling eagle. You can use it for the disengage. You can go in for a full-on engage as well. Plus, you've basically got a bailout tool for your team. And with the Flask of Versus, she provides a lot of utility on the table.
Hey,
So I was thinking maybe Okami friends would want to prioritize it, but they banned it out eventually. Let's see if they kind of ban the Guinevere as well.
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie, there's a reason why in ranked games people ban Matilda, despite the buffs when they introduced the buffs, despite the nerfs that came in, Matilda is still first phase banned in all ranked games. And I don't know about other regions, but in Malaysia region, all the high ranks here, you see Matilda, I don't care. I'm just gonna ban. And like you said as well, first 2 games, Matilda has pretty much won games. This time, Okami says, I'm sick of this Matilda. How the heck does this Matilda mess out the composition every single time? Let's take that out of the equation, and we are gonna play something else. In this case, I'm a little bit worried now, because in terms of game 1's, game 2's track record, just from today's matchup itself, Okami has pretty much won all their front-to-front fights against Shooky. Even game number 2, the front-to-front fights, Okami has pretty much won. Even a couple of retry battles as well has always been in their favor. So Shooky, they do need to kind of brush things out in game number 3, right? Without the cheese of having this Matilda right now.
Let's see if they actually continue to, Shooky ban out the same kind of marksman. They just showed respect to the Bruno in the previous one. Are they going to do the exact same thing again or no? Because even Guinevere is on the table and up for grabs. So Okami might as well be able to take it for themselves. But
Do they want to though?
honestly, I still think that if in case there's a Guinevere in your opponent, picking up an Akai into the jungle might be a pretty good idea. I'm not just saying it because theoretically you basically have the
Your
ends to
team
free
is
yourself
ready.
off from the Spatial Migrations knockup or the Violet Requiem's knockup, but also because of the fact that you would be able to give some
Your
amazing
team is
setups to your
picking.
own team. You would be able to catch your opponent's marksman off guard, or maybe if they want to go in for a full initiation comp, you can catch them off position. But Paramus was left
To
open and has been
live
grabbed up
is to
right away.
trick the
Oh
Reaper.
boy. No Valentina. They've got the Faramis. This is a big problem. Not a big fan of this composition coming from Okami to let this through. But of course, because of how well the Guinevere was being played from Swaggers in this game, I feel like right now Okami is going to show them why Guinevere is stronger. In this case, having the Nether Realm in this vicinity allows this Guinevere to have a little bit more option, right? Everybody's gonna be clumped up in Nether Realm, and it's so much more easier to hit those Bible toms and then just set up for the Violent Requiem. So I feel like this is gonna be a big problem. And with Digi in the
Parology is
my
Minecraft.
god,
Diggy is my name.
oh, they did them dirty. They did them dirty. Now with the Digu in the pool, that dream of having the wombo combo from Guinevere gets thrown out the window. Literally thrown out the window.
No way. No way. And the fun fact that we all missed the
It's
Diggy
my
out.
way or the
And
highway.
they're
Your
like, all
team
right, we're
is
gonna just put
ready.
the Faramis into the
Guess
mid.
who's the
We're gonna add
star
Diggy into the
player
mix. But this kind of
detective?
reveals off their draft in the early phases at least. But I really love the pick
Yep,
because
it's
it
me,
entirely shuts
Luna.
down the Gwen. But also, yes, there's a Faramis on one side. What are the chances that we might see Okami picking up the Estes for themselves and kind of lean back on the same Ube strategy that we have been seeing from Blacklist for a long time?
I
What if they kind of take a page off of their book?
I hate the Ube strategy because they nerfed it. But ever since they brought in the Flash, it was very, very strong. They nerfed it again. I feel like Estes has kind of fallen off a little bit. But
Hmm.
like if we were talk about popularity of how annoying the Digi and Farami strategy, right? Like both these two heroes was a combo that kind
I
of
would
terrorized
rather
every single one
betray
from
the
the Indo region
world
earlier
let the
this year
world
and also last year.
betray me.
But after the nerfs, here and there from the Netherrealm, from the timings of having the Digi here and there, I feel like it can be easily countered here as long as you bait one of these combos away, like either Time Journey, either Netherrealm preemptively, the fight goes in their favor of whoever baits it out first. Like if you drop a spell and you don't get any value of it, pretty much they lose their remaining fights. They have to back off. So I feel like having this Ixia kind of allows this kind of option, right? Like if I just poke you and you force an ultimate, it's great. I'm just gonna get free turrets. And if you force a fight with me, I'm just gonna back off. If you try to run away, here's my ultimate that does so much damage that your Nether Realm is gonna get chunked off very, very quickly. Your time journey means nothing if my ultimate bursts you down in like less than 3 seconds. So I feel like it's very smart in terms of CC, but damage potential coming from Okami is a little bit higher in that regard.
Agreed. Plus, honestly, if we're looking at how well they can deal the damage, yes, you've got the Lilia, you've got the Ixia, you've got the Guinevere. That's going to be a lot of splash damage out there. But I also want to focus on the pick by Amar. This time
Yeah.
around, he picks up the Yuzhong, pans out the Uranus. You know that he's not going to have a major problem in his lane. And plus, whenever you talk about Ixia, yes, she's got an amazing burst. You already know there's going to be a lot of stones thrown, pelted at your face. But she kind of lacks in terms of the mobility. Flicker, I agree, it can provide her one time escape route, but apart from that, if you see a dragon flying on your face, Flicker is not going to save you unless you're literally jumping inside the turret and there are 2 or 3 people to save you. And Amar is also going to run with the Petrify. So if you've got no Flicker, you already know you might as well as good as dead in this situation. As you already see, Mathilda has also been banned out. So no way there's any kind of guiding winds available to bail you out in that situation. So
I don't know, man.
maybe,
Like
yeah,
I
it
don't know,
kind
man.
of
Like
gets.
I get where you're coming from. Where hey, he doesn't have the ability, but if a marksman is so in front to a point that if a Yu Zhong can catch you, you are a terrible marksman, man. I'm not gonna lie. Your positionings is terrible, but I see where you're getting at. But having this Ling now, so risky. This is so risky of Team Shooky. Like I know they want to kill this Ixia, but who's gonna do the damage? Like if the Ling is nowhere to be found, there is just no damage. Like whatever Nether Realm or Time Journey gets popped off, you know, I don't think Okami is that afraid of them. And they go for the Baxia. Well, they do have a little bit more of an early aggression damage, but in the late game, they don't really have a lot of damage. Again, this is gonna be a big problem unless, I don't know, because they have this jungle Baxia now, I guess they are gonna stick with this double mage composition where instead of going for tanky items on Diggy, they are gonna go for mage Diggy and also the Faramis mage, I guess. If they go for that build, there is stronger late game potential, but early game is just completely in Okami's. I don't know, man. I'm confused, man. I'm really confused on how they want to play this, to be honest.
It just seems like that the first two picks were used up to counter Senzi, and then the next two picks were used up to counter Eyes on Me. So they individually countered those two heroes of the opponents, but all in all, if you kind of put them all together, it kind of does not fit what's been happening these days. So we'll just again have to wait and see how Shooky plays this one, because I mean at this point, difficult to pull off is literally, you know, the explanation of their name. They're doing that not just once, but they're doing this for the third time. Picking up a combo that's pretty difficult to pull off, but they've been doing that nonetheless. Now the question is what Silver is going to play. There's an Ixia in front of him, and he's still going to lock in the Beatrix. So, you know, in terms of range, Eyes on Me is going to win that fight. He'll be able to get some early poke onto Silver. But if in case they manage to go towards that late game, yes, they'll have a massive opportunity. But I'm kind of getting the deja vu of the previous game.
I don't know. I like Shooky's draft a little bit more this time. Like, this time their drafts is not that difficult to play. It's pretty one-sided. You just click a button, boom, we go all in, you know? We go all in, you know? It's all or nothing. It's either you die or I die. And I like that idea, but very easily kiteable. And I feel like Okami's got the mechanical skills to do it. But this time, Okami, you know, they have, all they gotta do is just gotta dodge fight, because as of now, this Guinevere is not gonna have a good time at all. Not gonna lie, he's not gonna have a good time in this game.
That is true. I mean, there's a Diggy up in front of you. There's a Faramis up in front of you. There's no way you're gonna get that much amount of value which you were expecting. But honestly, I also love the fact, since Daisy also, along with Mio on that Faramis, is going to go in for the full damage build. But how is it going to work out? That's something we're going to witness in the game now, guys, as it's game number 3 between Okami Friends on the blue taking on Team Shooky on the red. The score is equalized 1-1. Let's see who breaks the ice.
Well, very, very interesting monthly finals here. Who would have thought it will be as close as it gets? But as of yet, I like the adaptations coming from Okami Friends here. They actually forced a criminal to play the Guinevere on the XP lane rather than the jungle. They had this Fredrin here, trying to make things a little bit easier, because now with having the Fredrin in means that it is much easier to bait off this time journey. However, Team Shooky, look at this. They've got two very, very annoying disposition heroes, right? We've got a time reversal, pull somebody back. We've got the shadow stampede, pull somebody back as well. And if they do that every single time, Okami Friends is gonna lose out a little bit more in terms of value, in terms of HP, and that's gonna be a big problem for them. However, early game here, Okami Friends, as long as they don't die, they're Gucci, right? But wait a minute. Wait, is this an X?
Yeah.
Wait. This is a mid lane. Wait, this is a rope Guinevere? This is not an XP Guinevere? Okay.
Not an XP Guinevere. And here we go. That's the first blood already going from you, and that's the early burst damage. You also have the alarm bombs coming in from Nazik, and then again, you've got Swagger, who's just gonna be around at every part of the map. Alright, don't judge me for this, but I love to call his skill one the roly-poly. I just love to call that. Don't ask me why, but I enjoy that, okay? He's gonna become a wheel and he's gonna be everywhere in the map. But bringing the attention back to the same point, that's a Guinevere road with a Lapu in the EXP. I don't know how is that gonna work out.
You know, in my mind, when I saw Guinevere, oh, he's going for Brave Spite. Oh, he's going for Flicker. Okay, he's probably in XP lane. But because of this composition, I don't like this adaptation, but considering that, you know, it's possible to play Gwen tank jungle, you know, because of those molten essence, blah blah, yada yada, right? Nerfed it here and there, not the greatest, but considering that that is possible, why not roam Guinevere? So I guess that's, you know, what's going through Okami's minds here. And of course, Swaggers will have the upper hand here. Baxia, one of the fastest early game junglers in terms of clear speed here. Even though it's a tank, but the shield procs coming from the second skill is just so darn quick. And compared to a Fredrin, he is going to be outmatched. In this case, you know, Team Shooky, they've got so much early presence. I don't know what Okami can do. The only thing he can do is pretty much not die. Try and, you know, what, drag it out to mid game. You know, hopefully they have like, what, 2-3 items on this Guinevere, maybe even level 8 before they actually force a proper fight of just baiting out major spells.
Yeah, that is true. And also, one way to do that is by stealing away the buffs of Baxia. And that's exactly what right now Hydra was able to do. Swagger, he was busy taking his own red buff. And in the meantime, Hydra was like, alright, I'm just going to take it away. And I'm going to run back to my own red buff, orange buff. So, again, that's one way of doing things, because Eyes on Me also picks up the corrosion side. And you know the power spike of Ixia is going to hit very quickly, sooner rather than later in this game, and it's going to be even more troublesome for Team Shooky. But the way that they're trying to control the mid lane is something that I really love to see. They've got all the ultimates up on boards, and I believe they're just waiting for the next turtle to spawn. And before that, just making sure that Swaggers is power farming. And at all the other places of the map, you see, it's kind of a brick wall coming in. Like, no one's literally winning at any part of the map, but also they're neither losing.
Oh, great catch coming in from Mio. They forced the Purify out of it, so that is going to be a little bit big to pull. Swaggers here looking to try and re-engage this fight, but as of now, Team Shooky, they cannot force a fight yet because they need the rest of the team for this upcoming turtle. It's just not worth, you know, throwing all your spells before this turtle engagement. And because of this, now Okami Friends has two options: force the turtle or contest purple buff. In this case, Hydra says, you know what, give them the turtle. I want to steal this purple buff, like you said as well. But as of now, do they force the retribution? They do. What? Hydra actually stole the purple buff, and this is gonna open up the turtle for Team Shooky uncontested, and Okami wouldn't be able to win this fight, but they are gonna try and bait out this fight. They force the Black Dragon in, and this is gonna be a big one. Swagger is gonna be going all in on the turtle. He is gonna win the tail combo, but does he get it? Yes, he does, but the NetherRealm comes in, saves his life. He is gonna be getting out as well. Time Journey keeps him alive, but Hydra says, I'm gonna try and catch him, and eventually you get the kill onto its Swaggers. It took a very, very long time, but as of yet, Amar was able to cut the back lines here. Mio looking to extend this fight, and look at this, Amar, he's got so much damage, and Okami Friends, they're losing the fight. No, the appraisal frag did not drop in time, and Team Shooky was able to trade off the back lines and the front lines as well. Oh my goodness, this is as close as it gets. Bottom lane, Silver actually winning, getting a pick off onto its Eyes on Me as well. Oh my god, Okami Friends, they have pretty much overextended a little bit too much. We'd agree.
Yeah, that is true. Because again, rewinding back things to the purple buff where it all started, I think so the reason why Hydra decided to just try and steal it away, and then you know, his thought process probably was that since the Tortoise Poison was baited out by Basha, but we're going to talk about that later, as already the Wild Coin was connected only to bait out the Time Journey. So we know the Team Shooky now are not going to go in for any kind of engage. This purple buff might be the point of contention.
Hydra again going to be going for this place once again. Shooky waiting for a right moment here. Swaggers need to pop the Toys Bason. Does he win the retro battle? Finally drops his wall. So will drop the Imperials, and they burst down Hydra. And again, the wombo combo comes in. Okami Friends has to back out. The Black Dragon comes in. It will fight off the back lines here. Yunnan will force the Black Shoe, and he's gonna be a-okay. The stun comes in, but guess what? They do catch a Rise Crimson. He needs to get out, and he is gonna be a-okay. And again, Team Shooky with their all-in strategy, they get Hydra, and they are gonna go for a little bit more here. Rise taking a little bit too much damage. Mid tower taking a significant amount as well, and Team Shooky just showing them, hey, you know what? We've got the skills to play an easy composition. And right now, Okami friends, oh boy, Senzi going all out with the Chieftain's Rage here. He is going to do some significant amount of damage, but Team Shooky, do they want to go in for the play? Yes, they do. They go in for the conceal as well. They're calling in swaggers. This Boxer doing a lot of damage. Black Shoe comes in. They get the free kill on Yunnan. One way in, no way out. And that's Okami friends gonna be caught out here. Time Journey comes in. They do force out the Rice Criminal's skills here. He is gonna be able to get out here. And Sensi flickering forward. He finds Silver. Big catch coming in from Okami friends. And now Shooky, they need to back out here. Black Dragon comes in trying to disrupt them. Appraisals off, finishes off Neo in this bloodlove. What am I watching? This is an all-out brawl. And Okami friends somehow manages to out-sustain Shooky in this team fight.
I mean, it was just re-engage after re-engage coming in from both of these teams. Eventually, at a point, I thought Team Shooky were the ones who were winning on those trade-offs, but it all turned out for Nayas. Yet again, the fight just does not stop, and Amar is going to fall, but not before he takes down Eyes on Me. So much for the mid-tier 3.
The residue shard coming in from Amar, just right at the edge as well. Before going down, he takes down the gold laner. Another big W from Team Shooky. One step closer to dragging out to this game number 4 here. But of course, Okami friends, before the plays, Mio finally isolated. They bait out the NetherRealm. This is huge. But as of now, Shooky should be at their weakest moment. And if Okami friends decides to take a fight right now, it's gonna be huge. However, look at this. 25 seconds left on this Lord Pit. Bottom lane's pretty much shot out. They still have a tier 1 down bottom as well for Team Shooky. So Okami friends has 2 options now. Take down the tier 1 or force the Lord fight. And that's going to be a very difficult decision here. Very small window, considering how strong Team Shooky is in the 5-man team fight.
Could be, but honestly, I like the positionings of Okami friends as of now. They're kind of controlling the river, and Fauna Swaggers wants to figure out where the opponents are. He would literally need to face check those bushes. He's taking the Lord aggro. I don't quite know how he'd be able to heal himself back up if he takes too much of it, but in the back lines, Mio, Purifier was forced out, so NetherRealm still available along with the Time Journey, but an important utility used up. But still, no casualties whatsoever. But for now, we're going to see the engage yet again going in. NetherRealm used up by Mio. He's going to fall backwards, but the Black Dragon form is used up to go in inside towards the backline. Still, look at the way you full barrage! My goodness, along with the partial migration, but eventually everything is going to be a-okay. Everyone will survive thanks to the Time Journey. It was the tool in need, but now the Lord, it should be taken by Okami friends.
Oh, Team Shooky, they tried it. They tried for the all-in or nothing, but now because they got nothing, Amar doesn't have much tools to work with. They have to concede the Lord, and Okami friends, they managed to bait out the tempo in their favor, and this is exactly what Okami friends has been looking for the longest of time, and now he's just got the deadly blade as well, and this is gonna help reduce the shields being procced from side of the Time Journey, as well as the healings from Amar. Now NetherRealm popped out preemptively before the Lord even pops in. Okami friends just getting so much value, and slowly but surely they realize that their power spikes are slowly diminishing from the side of Team Shooky, and this is not looking good. Senzi. Uh-oh. Senzi. No, they are gonna go for the catch as well. Swaggers, he's got the tanky on the back line. Senzi, they force the Time Journey out, and they will be able to disengage. Lord still alive on the top side, and Okami will get that trade-off for absolutely free. And this upcoming fight, no Time Journey, no NetherRealm. Team Shooky has got to throw everything on this place as well. The Ixia with the full barrage! He gets nice, he gets a double Mio, and Naze completely deleted. Tier 3 will fall. Black Dragon comes in, is going to try and do something about this. Now Amar going to be zoning out the back line. He's got a combo, but the rest of Team Shooky is nowhere to be found. They will focus down on Zenzi and the Lord. They lose Amar, but can they get more? Okami says, I'm going to back off, as Silver tries to flicker forward. But unfortunately, still has his flicker, moves it forward, but does not get any trade-offs yet. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is crazy. Like, I don't know what's going on, but this is insane. games here, Garrett, but
Yeah, that is true.
crazy.
Oh my. That was pretty insane. And honestly, fun fact, I was speaking with my mic on mute for a while now. But seriously, the way Shooky are playing at this point in this situation, you mentioned perfectly, wherein yes, the power spike, it's not going to continue on forever. Even at this situation where we are going to transition in towards that later stages of the game, you already know that it's just Silver who can deal a ton of damage. Yes, maybe Mio with the Ghostbusters, a little bit here and there, but the way Eyes on Me is playing on this Ixia, making sure that he's always got his flickers safe, only to bail himself out. Amar not being able to get a catch onto him, and in one fight where he was able to do so, everyone else was just busy clearing out the Lord. Otherwise, they would have lost their crystal. So I think so. Just as you mentioned, in terms of execution, Shooky are facing some problems. It's all in or nothing. In the earlier part of the game, they were going in for that all-in strategy because Nazi was also dealing a decent amount of damage with the alarm bombs. Mio as well was doing a ton of job, but as of now, since we're already seeing a few Athena's shield up, it's kind of falling off the charts. And in terms of the cooldowns, oh my goodness, we'll talk about that later as the Black Shoes has been forced up, and then along with Hydra going all in, can he go in and get the taunt as well? But that would not be needed as Violet Requiem and the Nether Realms, both of them are committed.
Oh no, if they used one, they could have extended the fight, but now Senzi gonna be in an awkward position. He's gonna get poked up a little bit here and there, but he's gonna try and force the issue. That's gonna be the first immortality poked out from Okami. He's gonna try and sacrifice his life, and now Silver gets the kill. Now Lord still gonna be juggling his way through. The rest of Team Shooky a little bit far off as well. The arm did the job as well. Hydra drops the ultimate. Amar gets taken down. Swagger's not gonna get the retreat here, but do they steal it? Yes, they do. Mio steals it away from the Lord, but they lose Silver at that expense. And Okami friends, they may have lost the Lord, but they are looking for pickoffs. And in this case, the slows coming from Yunnan will get them all bit by bit. Now Ixia flickers forward. Mio will go down. A triple kill for Yunnan. Lord comes up. It doesn't matter. Mio is going to be there to clear them off. He's got Ghostbusters. He pops the Nether Realm. Hydra almost losing his life, but here comes the chain CCs. And Okami friends will take him out as well. The Lord will fall, but there's no minions. Wait, there's one turret. The crystal is exposed.
Cannon.
Amar, he needs to defend against this. Can he get it? No, he cannot. And that's going to be Okami friends that takes game 3. Woo! What a game. What a game.
It's a chaos. I might as well just summarize the entire game as chaos. Every single time you see so many extended fights coming in. And honestly, if not for messing up a few skills by Shooky, especially towards the end, wherein they even got the Lord, I think so they would have had this one at least extended for a few more minutes, if not directly into their bag. Because just the prior fight, you saw even the time journey being committed, Nether Realm being committed, and that was literally a mess. And in all of that chaos, they could not keep their cool, they could not keep their calm, and Okami friends came out on top. One mistake was all they needed from the side of Shooky, but a very well engaged fight, and they knew they could go in for the chase. They knew they had enough in their bag to delete all of them off the board, and they did exactly that.
Oh boy, I did not expect this game to be as close as it gets. It could have gone either ways in game number 3, but Okami friends now in championship point. In this case, winning this grand finals is gonna allow them to secure into the playoffs if they win the next upcoming match. And of course, Shooky, they tried their best. They got a pretty easy composition, but timings were not favored because, you know, in terms of experience wise, we do see Okami friends understanding what spells that allows them to extend the fights or choose their fights very wisely. And that's one thing I really like about what a game. What a game. I'm really scared right now for Shooky right now.
I mean, honestly, looking at how Kami were playing, they were ice cold in that situation. But for now, we're gonna be heading into a very small break, guys. Make sure to stay tuned as we're gonna grab a cup of coffee for our throats. But stay tuned, we'll be right back.
do this Abu Dhabi! Let's 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 do this Abu Dhabi!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the MLB tournament. Here we have Arena Esports giving you guys the best games thus far. My goodness, I did not expect the game to drag it this long here. And of course, my name is ICBaby12, and joined with me is going to be Scared Yet, as we are going to be your commentators for today. And of course, before we introduce and go into the game as well, we'd like to shout out our amazing sponsors as well. Arena Esports Tournament is pretty much powered by Etisalat, by and as well as AD Gaming as the strategic partner, and Tonia Esports as broadcast partner for this tournament here. And of course, we are talking about monthly finals. Only one qualified to playoffs on a later date. And currently, I don't know, man, scared. This is hard because we are at a stage where it is currently 2-1. And of course, Okami on match point take the entire series here. Scared yet? What are your thoughts?
I think it's going to go for all the 5 maps at this point because, again, looking at the way how Shooky was playing in the previous one, they've played amazing MLBB. Yes, they've been picking up some unorthodox composition wherein they're kind of mixing things up, just as we previously mentioned. Yes, sometimes there were situations wherein they could not pull off all the combos that they thought they would, but eventually in game number 2, they showed how well this strategy is, how well they've been understanding their entire composition. Took them a game to do that, but all's well that ends well. But yeah, even in the previous one in game 3, we saw them bringing up the Diggy and the Framis. We were expecting them to win. They could have done that. They almost pulled that off. And we can see that even in the highlights as well, how well they were controlling the early game. Even though there was Guinevere's partial migration knockups, you always had the time journey available. If not for this one small mess up, and honestly, an amazing play coming in from Eyes on Me, this should have been a Shooky game. But I love the fact how Okami relied so much on Eyes on Me, and he was also able to deliver.
I'm not gonna lie, this is a very, very like it all came down to experience. Like Okami friends, they understood what their win condition is, and that is pretty much baiting out certain prerequisites of spells. In this case, they have always been very, very aware of Neo's ultimate timings as well as Nei's ultimate timings. And once those ultimates drop, they know for a fact that if they take a fight right now, there's absolutely nothing to worry about. I can safely dish out every single spells on towards Amar. No one's gonna save him. If they throw everything onto a swaggers, no one is gonna save them. And these are the two major cores coming from Team Shooky. And every single time a fight happens, you can see Okami friends, they try to bait this out. And once those spells get baited out, they pretty much pick out every single one from the side of Team Shooky. And Eyes on Me, yeah, obviously, like I said, this Ixia is gonna do some serious damage against Team Shooky. And multiple times when Team Shooky grouped up as 5, this full barrage just full send his way through, and Okami friends just chipped them all the way. So well done to us Okami friends from understanding those timings. I liked Team Shooky's draft because it's easy, but sorry, when it comes to competition, nothing is easy about being a champion, man. Nothing is easy. You can't always play the easy compositions to win games.
Well, I mean, they've tried some super difficult compositions. They've tried some super fun and easy compositions to play. But here's the thing, in both of them, the execution needs to be perfect. And it's not just about these two. In any composition, if you want to play in, you need to execute that perfectly. So if we're talking about just one small mistake that we were referring to, it was the fact that they used two of the most important ultimates. That was the time journey as well as the nether realm together. And we know that the cooldown on both of them is actually pretty high. While if you're looking at towards Okami friends, yes, there's a decent amount of cooldown onto full barrage, but it's not as high as a time journey or a nether realm. Full barrage is going to be up way too quickly. There's also Black Dragon form, which takes a load. And if I'm not wrong, with all the cooldown items, maybe just 55, 60 seconds to come off of cooldown. While on the other side, Lapu Lapu is going to spam all of his swords, and then after a few seconds, he's going to get them back again. And his main job was to be the frontline engager, and he was doing the exact same thing because on the back of time journey that was used up by Nazi, whenever we were seeing spatial migration, you saw Senzi jumping right onto Silver, if not Silver, at least onto Mio, to push them out, push them in a position where they cannot find any kind of value.
Let's talk about values here, right? And how they're able to set out fights. I like how, Okami friends took advantage of the fact that um one, Guinevere's spatial migration drops you and right? Like it's like a doppelganger. And that doppelganger still has the perks of the dominance eyes. You can actually use it to actually, proc those anti-regens or the debuffs on towards Team Shooky. And every single time that happens, you pretty much lose value from the shields coming from the Diggy, you lose value from the Flask of Oasis from the Diggy, and you also lose value from whatever sustains for Yu Jong to kind of sustain those fights. And because of all these procs here, it's great. That's pretty much the first step, right? And when you pair it off with the Halberd coming in from Ixia, that was pretty much, Team Shooky losing all those values of how strong the Yu Jong and also even the Baxia in all these team fights to actually fight against Okami friends. And because of this small little integrations that has been happening in all these fights, Team Shooky, it became pretty much impossible for them to win if they don't take advantage of those timings with those time journeys, etc. And once they mess up those timings and go all in and get absolutely no value out of those fights, Okami friends is gonna run them over. And like you said as well, Lapu Lapu gets pretty much no major cooldowns, right? Goes in with the shift and rage, bam, 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 bam. There's nothing that you can do about it. We've got Ixia who just auto attacks all the way through, nothing you can do about it. And that's something that I think it could have gone either ways. Game 3 was as close as it gets in this money finals here. And I'm not gonna lie, it is very, very close. I haven't seen a closer game than this in a very, very long time. And for this to be in the grand final, not the grand finals, but the monthly finals, Q3, I'm very happy because I'm not gonna lie, whoever makes it through, congratulations. They hard fought their way through into the playoffs. Whoever loses this, they're gonna be banging their head. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna try again for Q4, man. I'm gonna try again for Q4.
Indeed correct. And honestly, if these are the kinds of matches that we're going to witness, I might as well want to see either one of these teams again compete for the Q4 as well, because it just seems like both of them kind of deserve to be on that spot because of the way that they have been playing, because of the way they have been showcasing all of their skills. Now, since we're already talking about showcasing a few things here and there, I also want to talk about, a kind of flexibility pick coming in for either of these teams. Honestly, in terms of the previous composition, yes, I was loving everything, but there was just one thing where I found might have been a missing key for the side of Shooky was the fact that they picked up a Beatrix, which needs to keep that distance. If in case they would have picked up a Claude, again, that's all theoretical. Had they picked up a Claude, he would have been able to dive in towards that backside wherein Aman was trying to give an opening to his team, and also where we were, seeing Baksha trying to jump. Claude would have been able to deal that damage, which was kind of missing from the side of Shooky we were witnessing, and they would have had two tools to actually bait them out. That was the time journey and also the nether realm. But again, that's what happened in the previous one. We're gonna see if we'll see the same kind of bans, or are we gonna see some kind of respect being shown in from Shooky yet again?
Yeah, that is very, very unfortunate here. But speaking of, will they pick it up again? I don't know. It comes down to whether or not they pick it or not. Because as of now, if we talk about blue, red, six, so far all 3 games has been won by the blue side. So whoever sits on the blue side might be the winner. We might expect a potential game 5. I'm sorry, producer. You might hate us for it, but so far we're just giving you some stats. 100% win rate on blue side, 100% win rate for Matilda. What else? What else can we break about this? Nothing much yet. Do we see a ban on the Matilda yet? If that doesn't, and suddenly, Shooky picks Matilda first pick. Sorry, producer, you're going home late tonight.
Might as well order a few snacks for yourself while you enjoy this amazing game, because I sure as well want to have some popcorns. This is just the kind of game that I always want to see. Bruno being respect banned yet again. Nolan, this is the ban we always see. 100% ban rate. On the other side, Angela not being allowed to go through Guinevere. I'm still thinking if they want to go in for the marksman ban. No, they're gonna actually take away the joy. We've not yet seen joy being thrown into the mix, because again, 100% ban rate by whichever side does not want to play it. For as of now, Shooky, they've got a few options on the table. If we're seeing Okami ban out the Faramis, you can possibly pick up the Mathilda, which has been helping you out. If it's the other way around, you can pick up the Faramis, but might be possible that the other side might answer with the early Diggy pick, or maybe they would want to save it for the late. Faramis has been logged in right off the bat.
I think it's more like a respect ban here. For if you think about historical from game 1 the way to, in particular, Shooky, they pretty much targeted all of the except for Frederick, which is weird, right? Like all the invade heroes, the landslots that can invade the backlines, blah blah blah. You know, Okami pretty much did not have those access in game number 1. But this time, it is gonna be respect bans coming from side. So, Okami, they're respecting the Guinevere, they're respecting the Matilda. They don't really want to play with the first priorities. But it opens up the Arlot right now. In this case, because of how Amar has been playing his Arlot for what? 2 games? Game 1, game 2, and then game 3 did not play the Arlot because he was forced to play something else. This time, option is on Okami. Of course, the Lilia hasn't been doing too well. Valentina gives them value. They have to respect the Frederick to a certain degree. Like, the biggest problem that one thing I've realized from Shooky is that they have big problems dealing with the Frederick because of how, Frederick not the strongest early game, but mid to late game extremely difficult to pull off. And I'm gonna give you more stats here. So far, Frederick has had 100% win rate. Right? That's 100% win rate.
Well, it seems that Okami would be able to pick that off because we've seen Martis is kind of not exactly countered by Fredrin, but also in terms of jungle, he's not that far behind. Ixia, my goodness, it was not gonna allow Eyes on Me to pick that hero up, but might possibly see a Brody coming into the mix because it's not been banned away. We've seen Eyes on Me performing onto that. Bruno is not getting his hands onto that one. But it kind of seems like, there are picks just being stolen away from the opponents. So, no, they're going to keep the marksman for the next phase. We'll be locking in the Fredrin, just as you mentioned. They even have that kind of understanding wherein they know if they leave the Fredrin out now, it's going to be banned out right away. Since you mentioned, Shooky, they're kind of facing a problem to deal with it. But we'll just have to wait and see how the next banning phase kind of pans out, because it is possible we might see a few of the roam bans, but Paramis could also be played in that position if you really want to do that.
Okay, now here's a little bit of a hope for our producers. Let's give you a little bit of stats here. 100% win rate on Fredrin, guaranteed here. Now, one step away from Okami to actually close out game 4. He might be able to go back early, but sorry to say here, Ixia also 100% win rate, even though he's been picked one time. He is on the blue side, and one of this team is going to break that 100% curse, regardless of what happened in this matchup, and this is going to be a big problem. And of course, when we're talking about 100% here, Minotaur pretty much banned every single game from the side of Okami. Not sure why, but every single game. Seems like they have experiences playing with Shooky before, and that's going to be respect bans all the way through from.
That is indeed correct, because we know the power of Rizla, the penalty zone. In the game number 1 itself, we saw Okami using that brilliantly. Senzi was the one who had his hands on. But this time around, they're not gonna let Amar pick that hero up whatsoever. And I think so it's also a pretty decent ban, right? Even though, yes, Yunan is on the Valentina, so maybe Valentina can steal away the penalty zone. But at this point, I think so Yunan is just going to focus on stealing away the Netherrealm from Mio, so that it kinda nullifies. I love that pick that came up, but this last ban, I think so they can ban away another marksman. No, they're gonna ban out the Rafaela.
Okay, that's a little bit interesting, but of course, I think when Shooky decides to go for the Digi and Faramis and hit, they can opt to go for it, but just now, this Cloth pick opens up so much more options because of the fact that Cloth's Blazing Duet chunks through the Nether Realm very, very easily. Time Journey is great as well. It gets so much value from it. So instead of having the Ixia in their hand, this Cloth does contribute a little bit more in this kind of awkward situations, which I think Team Shooky wants to kind of clump up as far as they can. So in this vicinity, having this Clot getting like what, 1 first skill, maybe on 4 heroes, just immediately gets max stacks and power through all this damage is going to give him so much value. So in this case, if they decide to go for the value here, I'm not too afraid for Okami. But, oh wow, they are going to go for the Flori. No, please don't go for the dig. Come on. I would have liked the Florin a little bit better. But looks like they are gonna double down, and this time they are gonna have the Uranus sustain their way through. So, in terms of setting up CCs and damage, a little bit worried for Shooky this time. And the Khalid to close things off. Wait a minute. Oh, this is Arlot tank. Oh, this is Arlot Rome. Wait,
Is it?
Leomon Jungle, Ephedrine XP? Possible. I like the integrations, you know, the adaptations coming in, but okay, they're playing in text. Oh wait, it is an Arlot Rome. Huh.
It needs to be, right? It needs to be an alert room at this point. Khalid, yes, it's logged in. It's gonna be pretty decent, especially in the early game against Amar on that Uranus. But yeah, Rise is using the alert. So yeah, it's 100% alert on the roam. Senzi on that Khalid. He should have the advantage. Wherein I thought that this pick of Uranus kind of negates the presence of alert in the opponent. Yes, with the final slash, you're gonna get a decent amount of value, but still Amar would be able to rotate way faster than you, and they kind of also rely on that early game burst potential. They've got the Diggy, they've also got the Faramis, they've got the Martis, they've got a very good early game presence. They will be controlling the mid, they will be going for some quick rotations, but I love this pick of Khalid. It kinda negates the entire early game presence of Amar. He should be able to clear the way faster than him. He's also got the heal in his kit, and with those amazing setups, if they manage to land their wombo combo, there's absolutely no way that Okami would be losing those fights. So we'll have to wait and see how it kinda turns out.
Well. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading to game number 5 here in the monthly finals Q3. Game number 4. This is the Team Shooky versus Okami Friends. And will Okami Friends be able to take the full 3-1? Or will Team Shooky bounce back, pull it into his game number 5? This is a match to watch here because based on the drafts here, Okami Friends has a very, very scary composition. And it seems like it is going to be difficult because for me, I do not like Okami Friends' draft if Team Shooky does not have this Uranus. But because of this Uranus, I definitely like Okami's draft a little bit better.
That is indeed true, and honestly, I love the rotation from Senzi. Right in the first few seconds, he was able to chunk down Mio right away, and on the back of it, they've already denied him a couple of minions, probably not 2, but at least 1. So, not a very big dent on the EXP, but at least some of it, right? So, again, some good early micro play coming in from the side of Okami Friends. He's gonna just tank up, soak up some damage from Uranus, but that's about it. He's not gonna face a lot of problem. Wait a minute, but the one who's facing problem is Johan in the mid.
Oh, this is 2 times in a row now. 2 back-to-back games. First blood in the hands of Team Shooky by Mio. So very, very nice pickoff again. They're taking advantage of the Shadow Stampede as well as time reversal coming in, and because of that, they are getting so much value of this. However, now speaking of trade-offs here, look at this. Rise is taking a little bit too much damage here. The bombs comes in, boom. It is gonna build up some stacks on the Diggy here. So eventually, Okami Friends, they are gonna struggle a lot when it comes to damage output. But bottom lane though, we do see a little bit of integrations. Silver is gonna be okay. I don't think Hydra can do too much in the early stage game here. Downside of the Fredrin. Probably Okami Friends will concede the first turtle fight. So looks like they are gonna be heading down top. Shooky in a position to contest this, but they do not have those 4s yet. Probably getting those 4s is gonna be priority here. Top side, Yunnan for the play. Senzi, oh, he was so close. Like if he had his 4, he might have gone for the Raging Sandstorm and gotten the kill, but looks like it's not gonna happen. Final slash misses as well. That's a good sign for Shooky to contest this. Swagger getting turtle control for now. Let's see how this breaks down.
Yes, indeed, that is true, because again, Amar is just being a nuisance on the face of Rise. He's just making sure he cannot join in the fight right away, but maybe he's bitten more than he could actually chew as he was taken down in the Raging Sandstorm, being used defensively from Senzi to run out of the house because he was single-handedly zoning out 3 people. Will also get himself some healing with the Quicksand Guard, but he's got his Desert Tornado up, so you know he's going to be jumping back into that fight, and this is no way Shooky, they're going to be allowed to steal away the turtle, right? Because again, you're going to see the Vengeance popping in, and Hydra is going to take away the turtle with the Final Slash coming in, but the time journey is going to help Swagger He's gonna bail him out as we will still see Amar going in for the re-engage. Neither of these teams are deciding to fully disengage. They literally want to go at each other's neck. But finally, we're gonna have some time.
Yeah, and speaking of time here, you know, team. Oh wow, Silver getting a solo kill down bottom against Eyes on Me. The Ixia pops off. This is gonna stop Okami friends' momentum here as they want to try and snowball as hard as they can. However, wouldn't be able to do so. Now, I want to talk about how Shooky can actually win this game, right? Like, where is that damage going to be coming from, right? Mio pretty much has the Ghostbuster in all these team fights, where if they have more people clumped up together, the Ghostbuster does more damage. That it pretty much destroys the meta of why Glue pretty much so weak against Pyramid because of those extra units. But besides that, who else can do damage? In this case, Mio, him getting caught out first, pretty much diminishes all of Team Shooky's weaponry right now. Not a good sign.
Loses a ton of stacks as well. Yeah, he lost so many stacks, and in the meantime, another flicker just being used up. And my goodness, Vengeance is just gonna clear off all that distance. Still, as it's gonna be A-okay, but look at the amount of space that Okami friends have taken. He wanted to come in again. He was deleted right off the bat. And Silver this time around will have to use his flicker up full barrages, but could not get any pick in that situation. And that's gonna be another pick possibly. Swagger, he needs to run out the harm's way. NetherRealm used up to help him out for a few seconds. Shadow Stampede to bring Hydra back into the tower. And are we gonna see the appraisers that? Yes, it does not land perfectly, but still much more than sufficient as the decimation is there to finish everyone off.
Oh, they are kiting them like crazy. Hydra, he needs to get out. He doesn't have the appraisers wrap. Senzi force the Raging Sandstorm. They kite Amar. Amar cannot kill Hydra. And he's going to be able to get out. However, he's got the sustains. They will back off. And Okami friends slowly chipping away at all the healths of Team Shooky. And again, this is the problem, man. This is the problem the Team Shooky is having right now. If they take a split fight, who is doing damage? Because every single one from the side of Okami friends can threaten the back lines. In this case, if they don't group up as 5, Okami friends is gonna be having a good time. And as of yet, Swaggers losing his life preemptively here. He needs to snowball hard with this Mortis, and Okami friends, they're choosing to split out the fight. Amar and Swaggers looking to trying to harass Hydra, but where is the rest of Team Shooky? They don't have the Diggy, they don't have the Faramis. Amar, he's tanky, but Final Stash being used preemptively. Can they get the turtle? Silver gets picks off on the bottom line. Can they win the trade-off? No! They missed the Red battle, and that's going to be Okami friends that comes up on top. And Amar is still alive. This is a Uranus. He's going to be very tanky. He should not die. He sidesteps his way through. He is going to be A-okay. And Okami friends losing out damage against this Uranus. However, they will take a tier 1 down bottom and a turtle. Look at this. Okami, they're going a little bit more aggressive again. They want to starve Swaggers of his economy once more. Huh.
That's one way of dealing with Martis. Yes, his early game is strong. It's very strong, but maybe if we're going to have some early game advantage, might as well press it into his own jungle by not letting him take even the gargoyle creep. So, I think so again. That's one way of doing things, but for now, that's going to be caught in. No, Raging Sandstorm from behind. He actually stuns up Mio, but still he gets the NetherRealm on time. I was so very close, but I really love the flank that Senzi came in from, literally from the orange buff. And even the pressure is still on Shooky, because they've got to clear off all the lanes. And love the fact that Silver, yes, he was being pretty aggressive, he was getting a few important picks on Eyes on Me, but right before the top turtle fight, we saw Eyes on Me actually baiting him in a situation because Senzi was there to provide him the support, which eventually in the long run helped out Okami friends. And now they're pushing their advantage even further because they want to take this top tier 1. With their position, it looks that way.
Yep, now Swagger, he's gonna try and harass his way through, but this is only a tank Martis. And as of yet, Okami friends, seems like they have pretty much gotten a little bit too tanky to actually deal with both Mio and Naze here. I'm curious to see what their items is, but before that, Final Stash comes in, pulls Swaggers out. Here comes the full barrage, but from behind, Senzi, they force the time journey away, but Senzi, he needs to get out. He's got the Sand Guard, but the disruption coming from Shadow Stampede will pull him back. He gets pulled back a second time, but he manages to get out. And that's going to be Team Shooky's opportunity not to be able to get the kill. However, here comes the pullback. Rise We'll be baiting out a couple reactions here. Okami in a little bit of a close call. Hydra looking for the taunt. Unfortunately, doesn't connect here. Amar comes in. Yeah, Uranus not going to be able to do too much. He's just a meat shield. And Okami just completely ignores him. Lord going to be the priority here. Meanwhile, Okami friends, they're sending Senzi down bottom to shove the lane while they go in for the reset. Team Shooky, can they rush this Lord? It seems like they're playing a little bit safe here. They don't really want to risk this. Swaggers needs to build up his economy. Forcing the retribution. No, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen here. Eyes on me. Going to be playing a little bit slow. Middle lane. They group up as 4. Team Shooky. Still a little bit confused on what can they do. But I wouldn't be surprised. They just don't have the damage for this fight. And Okami will get control of this Lord for now. Swaggers will be checking the fight right now here. Scared. I'm scared right now. Scared.
I mean, that's going to be the final slash connecting onto Swaggers. No follow-up, so he's just going to use the mortal coils out of the harm's way. But that does give a lot of opportunity to Okami to quickly take away this Lord as they are on the cooldown. But Amar is just going to jump in, and that's going to be the red tree yet again being won by the Fredrin. No way to block it off, and we're going to see the blazing duet. Not yet committed though, but finally will be, and that is eventually in front of absolutely no one. The decimation! My, oh my! There was a force of the flicker coming in from Nazik, and now he's the only one remaining. And it is just as you mentioned, Icy Baby. They want to split the fight. They split the entire fight, and not just in 2 different parts, at 3 different fronts, and they won at every single one of them. And that is when their blazing duet failed to connect onto even a single target.
Hey man, sometimes in life people whiff, man. You don't kick him when he's down, man. You know, it's a pretty obvious whiff, but now he just got his corrosion scythe. Hopefully it is gonna be able to kind of, you know, redeem himself. But better things to say here. Lord down the bottom lane here. It's gonna be Amar that has the potential to zone his all, but as of yet, this is a Uranus. He's tanky, but where's the damage? Because he's gonna get chain CC. Goodbye, Uranus. Send back to the space, man. That's gonna be Okami, friends. Leading the charge here. Lord knocking on the tier 3 down bottom. Inhibitors will fall potentially. Okami friends looking to win the fight here. Senzi trying to bait the reactions here. Ixia missing the mark. And this is going to be a fallen tier 3 as a Hydra looking to try and stun his way through. The reversal pulls him back. But where's the follow-up? Conceal plays with the final slash. But again, no follow-up. Okami friends takes the tier 3. They will back off instead.
Good discipline. A very good discipline coming in from them, learning from their mistakes in game number 2, not giving an in. Shadow Stampede, bringing Yunnan back. But still, he's going to be dashing out of the harm's way. Minions will be cleared, but oh my, Swagger could also have been cleared in this situation. Now,
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. What was that?
Okay, the mistakes, you know, a little bit of overextension. Mistakes were made, and that's going to be giving Shooky a little bit of right here. They get the Raging Sandstorm to back off, and now Shooky, they want more. They were given an inch. Can they take the full mile here? Because Okami friends, they are in position to recontest this, but Shooky, they're busy clearing up the waves. Can they fight a little bit more? Final slash from behind. Catches on Swigger. Full barrage completely whiffing them off, but they are clumped up with the Nether Realm here. They are alive, and Okami friends, they're throwing everything for this fight, and Swaggers will be the one to fall first. But where's the damage? They need Silver to pop through here. Time Journey keeps them alive, but they are getting kited around here. Silver, he needs to do the damage, and they finally find Yunnan, but from behind, Senzi will try and pick a few more. But Okami friends, do they want to extend this? It seems like Shooky will be able to back off. Nice! With the flicker backstab here. He sidesteps his way through. Eyes on me, picks him apart. But now, Mio gets quite caught up right at the wedge. The Raging Sandstorm connects on 2. Double kill for Okami friends. Shooky took a little bit of a dookie right there, as they took a little bit too long to make a decision. And Okami friends picks them all bit by bit, one by one, and eventually wins the team fight. And now Lord's in their hands. But Swagger, oh no, he gets scouted out by Hydra as well. Not a good sign. Silver finds Senzi in the middle lane. The Lord will crumble in the hands of Okami friends, unless, nope, not gonna happen here. Swagger will be backing off. Full Barrage comes in. Eyes on me! He dies at the right tick here. Full Barrage catches him. Time Journey keeps him alive. Team Shooky somehow holds on, and now Yunnan tries to go in for the all-in push. Gets picked off. And my, oh my, the producer is gonna hate me. We might see a full game 5 here. as Okami friends drop the ball. They still have the lead. And Shooky will hold on for their dear life here. Swagger, what are you doing here? Oh no, he's dead.
He should be dead.
No, no,
Vengeance?
no,
Come
no,
on,
no.
Mark.
He doesn't have the cooldowns for it. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. Whew, what a game. What am I watching?
Well, one thing is for sure, today Caster Curse does not work. When the Prince wants that to happen, but for now, minus
Okay.
only two people, and my goodness, reverse time could not actually catch him, and the time journey has been forced out, and even the passive of Flask of Oasis has been used up, so the Lord's just gonna march. Nowhere to charge onto though, but the minions are definitely going to jump in towards the mid inhibitor. It is going to fall. No one's there to save it whatsoever. So Okami just getting the value out of it. Final slash used up yet again just to zone.
Oh no, they found Silver!
Do it in the back line! And it gets every single one out of there. Swagger, yes, in the nether realm. But you need to clear all the cannon minions, start to stampede to pull them all off. But there is still Hydra in the base. He will get the crystal with the back of one cannon minion. And just like that, we're going to see a 3-1 victory for Okami, friends.
Oh, what a game coming in from Okami friends. GG, well played here. Congratulations to Okami friends because they are our winners for our third monthly finals here. Monthly finals Q3 in the hands of Okami friends. Sorry to say, to Team Shooky, they tried their best, but their best was not enough. One mistake was all it takes. And Okami friends able to capitalize that. GG, well played. What a game. What a game. Woo!
This
Wow.
is the exact same thing that I was expecting Shooky to pull off in the previous one in game number 3, wherein they picked up the Beatrix. I wanted them to pick up the Claw to do this exact same thing, that on the back of at least one of the engagers of your team, you would be able to directly jump in the back line and you'll be free hitting everyone out there. Because I love the game style of Claude, but there's always this one thing wherein if everyone focuses on the Claude, then he's just gonna be bursted down, because it takes a second or so for his blazing duet to actually get to the correct mark and finish them all off. And this time around, Fredrin was there in the hands of Hydra to provide that opening to Eyes on Me, and he was able to capitalize onto that. There was literally just a few ultimates that we saw had a lot of value, and this one last blazing duet was one of them, and it's all on the back of Hydra, the way he was able to provide that opening.
Wow, what a game. I did not expect this to go as close as it gets. But still, I was hoping a little bit more game 5 here. I was expecting a little bit more. Shooky had a little bit of glimmer of hope there. But again, I wasn't a big fan of the Uranus. GG, well played to them. Hopefully they will be able to bounce back in one. But of course, to bring it down on how things could have went better here are some highlights to keep you guys updated on the recap on what happened in game number 4. Because Okami friends, they had this advantage where they have this wombo combo that is so strong until the middle or later stage game, and if they group up as 5, Team Shooky will just completely desecrate them. Like, you've got Time Journey, you've got the Nether Realm, completely just ignores whatever CC they bring to the table. But the only downside is that where is their damage coming from? Because if you think about this here, we're talking about burst damage here. Mio, Naze, Aprim, and Amar are magic damage. Mio and Naze has very, very quick damage here, but what about burst? There's no burst coming from Team Shooky, and Swaggers and Silvers, yeah, arguably they do physical damage here and there, but if they are not bursted down low enough, there's nothing Silver and Swaggers can capitalize on all these team fights, and that is something that Okami friends realize, and they're just like, you know what? We're gonna split a fight and take individual fight, because why? That pretty much limits their options to win the full team, which is very, very nice coming from Okami. You can see
That is absolutely
experience
true.
plays a major factor for Okami.
Indeed, that definitely does. And honestly, I was loving the attempts coming in from the side of Shuki, but also I don't want to bring off the limelight from the one and only Valentina in this game. I thought maybe he's gonna steal away the nether realm. It's kind of a tongue twister, but Yunnan always made sure to kind of have his hands on the decimation, because there's sometimes one thing that I feel with the Claude is that he can chunk the enemies super low in the HP, but might not always get them off the charts. And in order to finish everything that was started by our own teammates, Yunnan was just easily able to take that decimation and was able to finish all of them off, and also could use that additional movement speed to quickly get out of the harm's way as well. And just as you mentioned, they were kiting everyone from the side of Shooky so well and so much. And the MVP, it's going to go into the hands of Hydra, the man himself, 1-0-10, tanking everything, soaking up all of that aggression. But also Yunnan with a 10-3-3 with the decimation was able to bring out one of the best things in a Valentina.
Yeah, that is very, very nicely done here coming from him as well. Yeah, 10-3-3 there to always terrify the way through. But again, they have been in this position. They have just so much tools to bait out both the Nether Realm and the Tyranny. This is one of the reasons why I hate this combo compared to days, right? Back in days, the range is crazy, right? Nether Realm pops out, boom. Everyone who gets it, you can get out of it. You still have that light. But this time, you pretty much limit with those options. They even nerfed the Ghostbusters damage as well, the prior patch. And they just didn't have the burst. And unfortunately to say, Okami friends just took advantage of that. And I was very surprised. There was not a lot of magical defense to deal with it here. I do see the Tina Shield coming from Hydra. Uh Sky Garden's help coming from Hydra, but I was expecting Senzi to go build as well, but he opted to go for damage, and because of that, the Heptasis, the Deadly Blade here, the Military Throw just completely shreds through whatever Shuki's damage can do. And I talked about burst damage, right? Khalid plays two roles. He can play sustain, he can play damage. Because of this, kind of put Shuki in a situation where we cannot out sustain them and we cannot out damage Okami friends in all this. So well done to Okami friends in itemizing accordingly as well. So GG, well played.
Indeed, that is absolutely true. And look at Eyes on Me. He was literally wearing just one of the boots in his leg, did not even complete that. Probably was going in for the Wind of Nature at the last item. But I love the fact that you also brought the attention on Senzi, because I also wanted to make a point wherein his raging sandstorms were literally on point. Even in one situation where Mio was kind of trying to bait out one of his own teammate, and he thought, all right, with the Ghostbusters Shadow Stampede, he would be able to somehow move out of the map. But it was still on the edge of that raging sandstorm, which eventually led into a double kill into the hands of Senzi. That was a brilliant play. And just as you mentioned, all in all, a very good game coming in from the side of Okami friends. Yes, there were a few shake-offs here and there, but they were eventually able to fix their mistake. And I love the fact that they were also learning from their mistakes, making sure that they're not repeating the same things that they did in game two in game number four. A lovely game coming out from both of these teams.
When all the cards on the table, you gotta go all out, man. Fortunately to say, it's pretty much the end of the Shuki here. Hopefully, we will see them in Forest tournament here. But Q3 is gonna be one from the side of Okami friends. Congratulations, because they are our winner tournament here. Very, very happy to see them. But of course, in case you guys are wondering what is happening here, the prize pool that all of them are competing here is $1,200. First place 650, second place $300, third place 150, and progressive. Of course, when it comes to the playoffs here, this is going to be the playoffs teams that is going to be happening here. So congratulations to Okami friends and Shuki for walking with the prize pool. But these are your 6 teams that is going to be qualified for playoffs.
Last 2 slots remaining now, and who is going to reach those last 2 slots is something that you will have to find out. So make sure to keep on following so that you do not miss out on any of the upcoming matches. Because again, if this is the way that we're going to witness how these matches are going, if this is the kind of level that we are seeing from both of these teams, I'm literally going to be head over heels for everyone who's going to be participating in these ones, because there are so many new strategies that we're going to witness. Yes, there's kinda a standardized meta here and there, but you always see all the underdog teams bringing out something that no one kinda expects, right? And
Yep.
honestly, one of the expectation of me coming into this desk was the fact that maybe we're going to continuously see the Phobias and Guinevere banned out, which was literally not the case. Phobias was also left open multiple times. So these are the kind of small things that I always love to see, and I enjoy analyzing, trying to figure out what these teams are trying to do. And I just love being here. I want to see more of these matches. So I am definitely following.
Yep, of course. I'm looking forward to see how it goes as well. Of course, these are your 6 teams for now. We are looking for 2 more teams, and we are going to be proceeding very, very shortly in towards monthly finals here, which is going to be very. But of course, we are going to be on. But for now, for these guys watching at home, hope you guys enjoy the game here, and of course, Mobile Legends from MENA here. This is the teams that are going to be competing for MPL MENA in the future. It's going to be the end of M5, which is next year, right? So this is going to be a great progression for some of the experimental drafts as well. We do see Okami friends already flexing their MPL banners here, and hopefully they will be able to, give us a little bit of future, because we've heard a lot of things about, especially from a friend from Yasuo, currently casting 5, and he was very surprised that, hey, why didn't they go better? Why they were the team, one of the they were expecting that maybe they could have, gone further. So I don't know. I feel like when it comes to competition, there will be winners, there will be losers, and that's pretty much the nature of competition. Oh, well, this is my favorite team. I want them to win, but your favorite team is a different team. You want them to win, but eventually they can only win. So that's a different story for a different team, a different show to actually cover here. But for this show, we have 6 teams, and we're looking for 2 more here.
And again, I can't even wait to see what kind of new things we're going to witness by both of the 2 new teams. Because again, there's one thing that I really truly believe whenever we're watching any kind of game in the esports or even in the life, you either win or you learn. So there's definitely going to be a lot of learning coming in from the side of Shooky. And just as you mentioned, we'll probably want to see them in the Q4 as well. Maybe it might be possible they again go towards the finals and we're going to see an amazing best of 5 finals. But before that, there's quite a journey up ahead in front of them. So one thing that they also would need to focus on is the fact that they will have to forget what happened today. At least they've got to brush it off of their heads. Yes, figure out what their mistakes were, realize that, fix all of that, and then move forward. That's a great way of learning and progressing. And this basically gives you a lot of experience, which this time Okami friends had more of you. So you might as well use it in your advantage for the next one and show us a great side in the Q4. And also there would be some new teams, new underdog teams, which will eventually come out, which will definitely prevail. So just gonna wait and see, because surprises are meant to be revealed later.
Yep, and at the same time here, all things considered, we are going to be closing out the series here. Thank you guys so much here. And of course, you guys were watching the Arena Esports Monthly Q3 Finals here. My name is ICBaby12. He is Scarred Yet, and this tournament is powered by Etisalat by 8. AD Gaming as the strategic partner and Platonia Esports as the broadcast partner. It's been a pleasure casting with you here, Scared Yet. And for these guys watching at home, we will see you guys. Good night. Have a good day. See you on the next one.
Hello, it's been a long time. Can't get you off my tired mind. Shadow, let the tape rewind and finally ease my anxious eyes. Oh no, I feel you creeping in, my body bleeding sin. I'm drowning. Heaven, could you save me now from these thoughts inside my head? Dying on the devil, running through my mind. I can't get on your level. I swear to God I tried. I am not under your spell. Turn around and turn ahead. You cannot be anymore. Oh my God, you are the devil. Shadow, will you hold my heart? so hard to say. Hallowed by my love for you, always stop me going under. Follow every step I take, cause our walls are coming down. God, you are the devil, running through my mind. I can't get on your level, I swear to God I tried. I am not under your spell. Turn around and turn ahead. You cannot be anymore. Oh my God, you are the devil. Stuck in the back of my head and I'm dead. I got the devil inside me and everything I see is red. Vision is blurry, I'm in a hurry, my skin is starting to shed quick. Call up a doctor, swallow some pills, maybe I'll wake up in bed. I'm a disaster, can I move faster? Honey, I'm off the edge. No point in stopping me, I'm not your property, gotta take care of that ledge. My friends are dead, I'm losing my head, I gotta get off of these meds. I ain't unstable, willing and able, give you this body to pledge. Oh my God, you are the devil. Oh my God, you are the devil.
Best to give me your loyalty. Best to give me your loyalty. Cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. Cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.